what if Jason Voorhees trained Deku? Let's get into it. So, everything goes up the same until Deku is at the hospital, saying the doctor, he was quirkless, and a couple of hours later, Deku's walking home, but there's a villain attack. And Deku still loves heroes. And his mum says, "Do you want to go see the villain attack, sweetie?" And then Deku says to a little grin, "Yeah, Mum." Then they go to the villain attack. Let's say like it's Death Arms Endeavour against like a villain with like a teleport quirk. And then so Death Arms has got like a special bullet. It's like a lightning bullet. And Endeavour's saying, "This might be a good little game to warm me up." Then the villain says, "You want to take me alive?" And the villain activates a portal, and then he just grabs a bunch of people. One, Deku's mum, two, Deku, and a bunch of civilians. And then the villain said, "I'll kill all these people." He has like a gun as well, like a handgun. "I'll kill all these people if you come a step closer. I want a vehicle and $2,000. And Endeavour says, "You're not getting shit." Endeavour blasts a massive firebolt, and Gunhand says, "Stop, Endeavour, wait." Then Gunhand shoots his bullets, trying to stop his fire. But then the portal villain says, "Have it your way." He activates a portal. And then it makes like a really big portal, like a fire, but lightning bullets and the portal started mixing together and make like a vortex. And the vortex was really small and it kept closing. But everyone started grabbing on the things except, well, Deku. The vortex started sucking him in. And then he falls out the portal and lands into a lake. And then, let's get to Jason part. Jason's walking around, hunting, but then he hears help. Help! And then he's getting flashbacks saying no one helped him when he's younger. And then, with a determined look, Jason jumps in the water and swims at full speed over to Deku. Deku just went under the water, but then Jason grabbed him, pushing him up above water. Deku starts crying. Jason puts him on his back and then he starts swimming to shore. Deku's shaking because he's really cold, and he's just crying because he doesn't understand. He's only 4. And then Jason just gets out of the water. I was putting him on the shore, and then stands up. And then he just looks down at Deku. He doesn't say anything. But then he just starts to walk off. But then Deku said, wait, please. Jason turns around. He sees a lot of himself in the kid. Like a lot of it. Because one, he's got doesn't know anything about him. Well, he just thinks he's got a good lot. Because who else would just leave a kid in a lake swimming? Like, Jason's wondering, how the hell did the kid get here? He would activate one of his traps at least. Then, for the first time ever, in like a really messed up voice, like it's like coming out in words. Okay. It takes him like a couple of minutes to say that. Then Deku says yes, but then he just collapses thanks to the coldness. Then Deku just then Jason picks up his body and carries him to his lodge. And then he lights a fire outside of it for Deku. 10 hours later, Deku wakes up. He's in like a sweater. Because Jason, he does a little killing. I assume he just doesn't just leave their bodies to rot. I assume like he carves them out, or at least takes their clothes. So he's in like a sports jumper. He starts rubbing his arms, trying to warm himself up. But then the door opens and he sees Jason walk by with like a bunch of fish and puts it on the fire. And I'm just like, Jason's not going to be talking, but he has like a notepad and pen. And then Deku said, who are you? And then with a pen, Jason starts to write. And it says, Jason Voorhees. And it says, Jason Voorhees? Then Jason nods. Then he says, thank you for saving me. And then he writes, you're welcome. And then Deku says, where are we? Then Jason writes, Camp Crystal Lake. He points out at Deku. Deku reads, Camp Crystal Lake. Then Deku says, what's Camp Crystal Lake? And then Jason's, writes, it's like a camp. Because it's like a training camp. And Jason puts his head left and right, so like no. And then Jason writes like camping camp. And then Dick says And then Jason writes, where are your parents? And then Deku says, I don't know. There was a villain attack and one of the heroes started fighting and I got decided to a portal and Deku just starts to cry. Because Jason doesn't understand if there's a villain attack. Like, does he mean like a something like him? Like, he doesn't know. So he walks over to Deku, then he just hugs him, warming him up. And Deku, his head's on his chest and he has this really slow heartbeat. And Deku starts crying on his chest and starts to hug Jason. And Jason just gets a little tear. Because he's never been loved before. Well, except from his mum. But she's been gone for a long time. And under his mask, he gets like a little smile. Then Jason writes, do you know where to go? Do you know where you live? And Deku says, no, I live in Japan, but that's all I know. And then Jason writes, Japan? Kid, are you sure? Because we're in where was Camp Crystal Lake? I'm gonna say the US? Yeah. Kid, we're in the US, he writes. Then Dick says, wait, that's not possible. Then Jason writes, kid, are you okay? Then Deku's stomach starts to rumble. And then under Jason's mask, there's a little smile. And then he puts down Deku from hugging him. Then he walks over to the campfire he made and he's got some fish cooking. He gets 2 fish. One to Deku, one to him. And Jason isn't putting up his mask fully, just he's eating it under his mask. Then Deku said, what time is it? And then Jason said, let me check. He writes down. He looks up at the sky. And then he writes down 11:45. Then Deku's saying, it's early. And then Jason says, yes. And then Jason says, do you have anywhere to go? Anywhere to stay? Then Deku says, no. Then Jason's got a really good idea. Because Jason knows one day he's not going to be alive. But he's thinking, what if Deku can take his place one day? Like, to keep your mother safe, stuff like that. Make sure no one goes in Camp Crystal Lake. And then Jason says, maybe I could help you. Stay with me if you want, he writes. And Deku saying, really? Then Jason writes down, yes. And then Jason writes, but? Deku says, but what? You got to train. Then Deku says, train, like, how? Then Jason says, I'll teach you. Then Deku says, yeah, but what kind of training? And Jason says, hunting. I want to say Jason's a lot more skilled. Hand-to-hand combat, workouts, stuff like that. And then Deku's gruesome training regimen starts. For 8 years, Deku has been working his arse off, hunting. He's actually quite smart, to be honest. But now he's around 12. And Deku's just training and training. But one day, Deku walks out. Then Deku thinks it's Jason as his dad, pretty much. Because Deku doesn't really know his dad that well. You've only seen pictures of him. He didn't really have a dad figure. But Jason's a pretty good dad figure. And then one day, on that day, Deku's walking into Jason's shack. He knows about Mother, but he's freaked out at first, but not anymore. He's just got used to it, because he's deceptive. He's got to protect her one day on his own. He knows Jason's not always going to be around for him. And then Jason looks over to Deku and waves. I'm going to say Deku and Jason got, like, sign language. So Jason doesn't really need the book anymore. He is, like, next to, like, Mother's head. Jason's mother. So he can do, like, sign language to Deku. And then Jason does sign language saying, hi, hello Deku, how are you? Deku says, I'm good. I mean, yeah, I'm good. Because he's old, he's got a deeper voice. And then Jason says, that's nice. We got to go hunting. And Deku says, for what? Deer? Fish? And then Jason says, people. Then Deku gets a little freaked out. Do you mean people? But do you mean like us people? Then Jason tells him the rest of the story. Because Deku knows he's got to protect Mother, but doesn't know from what. And then Jason tells him his backstory. When I was younger, I used to be here. My mum used to work here. But I was drowning, just like you. All those years back. Then Deku says, wait, you was drowning as well? Yes, but unfortunately, I'd known all the lifeguards wasn't there. No counsellors, nothing. I drowned to death, and I eventually came like this. And Deku saying, oh, that's how you're so good at swimming. And then Aang says, well, sign language, yes. So, we hunting people, I guess? Then Jason says, yes, because you want to know why we hunt them? And Deku says, yes, because one day they want to destroy our home, our sacred home. They want to destroy this place. We won't let them. We will never let them. And then Deku says, yes, Dad. Then Deku accidentally said Dad instead of Jason. Then Jason's sign language say, what did you say? Not like a mad tone. And then Deku says, sorry Jason, I didn't mean. Then Jason says, it's fine. Call me Dad if you want. And Deku says, are you sure? And Jason just starts nodding. Then he says, okay, Dad. I say as Deku's been like a hunter trained by Jason, knows like all a bunch of weapons. I say he knows. Yeah, he knows like a lot of things, hunting stuff, materials like that. But he's really big. Like, I say like he's tall as Ida, but he's like 3 times bulkier than Mirio. I mean that's a lot, but Jason's got supernatural strength, superhuman. So 3 years later, and this is like when Jason was like killing the campers. So let's get started. Deku was asleep, but then he hears like a bunch of screaming, so he runs out. He's got like a mask like Jason's, but not like the exact same one. He also has like a machete. But then he's running out, and then he sees Jason being like tased by the SWAT team. Yeah, this is the part in the movie, like Jason getting killed by the SWAT team. But then Deku's about to run out, but then he hears a voice. No, Deku, don't. It's too late for Jason. You need to run. And that's Jason's mother. Then Deku says, who are you? Then she says, it doesn't matter who I am now. Just run, I'll explain on the way. For all Deku's might, he has to turn and run. But just before he does, he sees Jason looking at him. And then with Jason's tasering body, he uses 2 fingers to point go. And then he does a finger, he does a thumbs up saying, go. Deku starts crying under his mask, and Deku books it back to the shack. And Deku just grabs his hunting material stuff. He grabs his bow and arrow, his spear. He grabs his arrows and he grabs his machete. Then Deku starts running. And then it's like lightning storm. But then a lightning storm hits where the portal was. And then the portal starts to open back up. Then Deku's saying, wait, is that the portal? The portal! Then Deku hears a voice saying, run, Jason. Run, Deku, run. Then Deku's saying, thank you, mother. Because the mother told him about it was her. Then Deku jumps into the water, starts swimming over to the thing, then starts sucking Deku in. Deku to the My Hero Academia world. So in the last part, Deku just got sucked back into the portal, bringing him back to his home world, My Hero Academia world. So let's get into it. Deku lands in the ocean. And, he weighs a lot, so he's struggling to swim, but he's able to swim back to the shore. And he's at the beach where he trained with All Might in the original anime. He starts trying to breathe for air, but he realises his mask is blocking it. So he has to take his mask off and throws it on and puts it next to him on the beach. He starts coughing up water. What the hell? Where am I? Deku looks around. She's a beach covered in trash, and Deku says, "This is sort of familiar. Is this the beach?" Deku said, "Did I come home? Did I really come home?" Then Deku starts to get up, and then he says, "I'm finally home!" But then he gets a flash of memory seeing Jason, then he quiets back down and keeps his calm. And then he picks up his mask, puts it back on. He's still got like, all of his tools, like his bow and arrow, he's got his machete, he's got like and like a knife. Yeah, like a combat knife. And they're all in his body. Like his knife's on his right side. His machete's like on his back, and his bow and arrow's on his back as well. And then Deku starts to go up the stairs, and he just sees a bunch of people walking around. But Deku says, "It's too much people. I'll wait till dark. Plus, I might need to find a change of clothes." As Deku looks at his clothes, they're like Jason's clothes with like a janitor uniform. That's pretty much what Jason only thing he had, pretty much. Deku could barely fit into them, but Jason modified them so it would fit him. So, after Deku finds a place to stay, like under like a bridge, he goes to sleep. 8 hours later, it's around 2 o'clock in the morning. Deku wakes up. this. What time is it? Because Deku knows the time, like Jason, that he can just look up the sky and see what time it is. Deku says, 2 in the morning. Ugh. Deku gets up as he walks through the stairs. He goes back up the stairs and then he walks around, looking around. And there's a bunch of pro heroes. And let's say the pros are like mid-level. And there's a villain attack there recently, so you had to make sure just to make sure everyone was safe. And Deku's walking down the street, and he sees 2 pros. The pros hear some footsteps, and they turn around. They see Deku wearing ripped up clothes, a hockey mask, and carrying a bunch of weapons. And then the hero say, "Freeze!" And then Deku, with his mask, turns his head and looks over to them. Deku says, "What?" Then they say, "Freeze, villain!" Then Deku says, "I'm not a villain." Then the hero say, "Hey, nice try." The one with like a strength quirk, like an enhancement, runs over to Deku and hits him. Doesn't really do much. You know, I'm just gonna say Deku got trained by Jason, like really, really, really painful training. So he's got like a really big pain tolerance, like Jason. Like Jason was able to get stabbed by Freddy Krueger a bunch of times with his own machete. He gets cut, but Deku has enough strength to literally rip Freddy's arm off and stab him with it. And previously surviving like an explosion. They get back into it. So Deku got the pain tolerance like that. The pro with like enhanced quirk charges to hit Deku. Deku just catches his leg. He's like, "What?" Deku says, "I don't want to hurt you. Just stop." This is like the other hero was Ingenium. Yeah, Ingenium. Edith's brother. And then he says to the other hero, let's call him like, I'm going to call him Dan. Dan, stop! Dan looks at him saying, "What Ingenium?" And then Ingenium says, "He actually might not be a villain." Then Dan says, "I'm not doing his hero name, I'm just going to do his normal name." And Dan says, "What are you talking about? Look at him." But then Ingenium says, "Well, he literally just asked you to stop. He could literally break your leg right now." And then Dan said, "Oh, damn." Then Deku lets go of his leg and makes him fall back a couple of steps, and Ingenium catches him. And Ingenium says, "Who are you?" And then Deku pulls his mask off saying, "Izuku Midoriya, sir." And then he says, "Do any license registration or anything?" And then Deku said, "This may seem crazy, but I just came out of a portal." And then Jim says, "Well, yeah, it does sound crazy." But Deku says, "I was here when I was around 4. It's been 8 years since... Yeah, it's been 11 years since I've been here." Then Jim kind of recognises his name, because he's looking through the police files and stuff. He says, "What's your name again?" He says, "Izuku Midoriya." It's like a Genium's got like a thing on his arm that can search up files and stuff. He types in Izuku Midoriya. It shows like a little picture of him saying deceased. But then Jim says it says you're deceased. And then Dick says, "Well, I got stuck into a portal. What do you think happened?" And then Deku said, "You know where we are? My memory's really bad." And then he said, you're in downtown. Do you know where you live? Deku said, no, I can't remember. Can we go to the police station, please? And then he said, yeah, sure. And then Dan said, I'm sorry for attacking you, by the way. And then Deku said, it's fine. Then Dan just realises, did you say 11 years ago? Deku said, yeah. You look like a full 24-year-old, bro. You know that, right? And then Deku said, well, I got trained by, well, my friend. He says that in like a low tone. Then he says, who's your friend? And then Deku just doesn't want to say anything, so he's just quiet and then says, sensitive topic, okay. They arrive at the police station, and then a bunch of police officers are just looking at Deku, thinking he's a villain. Like a genuine then Dan brought him in. And then like officer saying, hey, good work, heroes, I'll take it with me. They grab Deku, and then Jin grabs his and says, no, he's not a villain. Then Deku takes his mask back off. Nice to meet you, sir. Izuku Midoriya. He hands his hand out. And then officer says, do I know you? Then Jin says, probably not. Come on, we need to find where his mother lives. And then there's where's the captain? Then he says, his office. They head to the captain's office, and then he tells him, and the captain says, oh, what's up with Genium? What are you doing here? Then Genium tells him everything that happened, Deku, all that. And he says, oh, yeah, sure, we can go and search up his wife's name now. They go to the computer and find out where he lives. It's the same place, I assume. And then Deku just walks over to him with Ingenium and Dan. And then Ingenium says, hang on. Then Ingenium knocks on the door. And then Inko opens the door saying, can I help you, sir? And then Ingenium says, yes, did you have a son called Izuku Midoriya? And then she said, yeah. We found him, ma'am. And she's like, what? Slowly tears start falling out of her eyes. And he says, yeah, we found him. And he's actually here. And then she looks around, seeing a really buff, tall guy. And then she looks at the nurse, he's like another hero. He says, where's my Izuku? Then Jinny starts to laugh. That guy. He points his thumb over to Deku, the really tall, bulky guy. Deku says, Deku? Because she can still see his green hair. And then Deku takes his face off. And she can see he's familiar. He's got a bit of his baby face still. And she starts crying even more. It's Deku. She hugs him. And then Deku starts to cry as well. Mum. It happened for around 2-3 minutes, and then the hen sighed. Then Deku said, it's so nice to be back here. And then Ingo started asking questions like, where were you? Where were you? You got sucked into a portal. And they said you died. Then Deku said, I'll explain in the morning. I'm really tired. Then Inko bows down to the hero, saying, Thank you for bringing my baby boy home. And she said, it wasn't our... It's our pleasure, ma'am. Anything to make her citizen happy. Then she says, thank you, still. And then Jenny and Dan leave. They give Deku their numbers. And then the next morning, let's say it's like just turned Saturday. Deku wakes up in his old bed. He's definitely outgrown it. And then he looks over in his room saying, can't believe my room was like this when I was younger. Deku gets up and accidentally breaking his bed in half. With how strong he is and body weight. Deku says, oh, I might want to fix that later. Deku just tries to open the door. But he squishes the part and it opens. And then Deku says, Oh man, I didn't know how strong I actually was. Deku opens the door, pushes the door open. Then he hears two people chatting. His mother and another person. Deku opens the door, after squishing it, of course. He squishes the handle, opens the door, opens it up, and it's Bakugo's mum. And then she looks over at Deku. And then Inko looks over at Deku and gives him a smile. Then she says, "Well, here he is." Then she's like, "That's Midoriya." Then he looks at her like, "Really? He's Midoriya?" Then he says, "Nice to see you, Auntie." Gives him like one of those iconic smiles. Then she gives him a good old grin. Then she stands up and gives him a hug. Deku hugs back. "Nice to see you again, Auntie." And she says, "You've grown a lot." She puts her hand above her head and she's barely up to his chest. And then Deku, yeah. And then Deku says, Mom, we need some new things." Then Deku says, "What do you mean, honey?" "We need a bunch of new doorknobs and we need a new bed. I might have broke mine." And I got up. Then it says, "Let's go and see." They look over, they see Deku's bed completely in half. And then Deku's saying, "It's kind of hard to control my body, especially in this environment. I was able to squish wood for ease." And then Inko says, "Well, we're going outside, we're going down today." Then Deku's saying, "Really? Sweet." And then he says, "Let me just get my clothes on. Get dressed." She gets dressed and then they head out. Then Inko hears Deku's stomach rumble. And then Deku's saying, "Wow, I'm hungry." And then Inko says, "I'm going to go get something to eat." "Deku, you talking?" And says, yes, Mum." They go to a burger place. Because Deku hasn't eaten burgers or anything for 11 years. He's just been eating fish and deer. Hunted animals. And then Deku bites into it. A massive shock of taste buds going up in his mouth, saying, "Oh, it feels so good to eat a burger." While he's drinking a fizzy drink. And then Kotsuki, Bakugo's mom saying, "You ate that like a horse." Then Deku says, "Well, when I was gone, I lived in the forest. I didn't really get to eat this kind of food for a long time." And she says, "You live in the where?" And Deku says, "I'll tell you another time." Then they hear a massive boom. And it's the same as a villain attack. They walk over, do it, and it's like the giant, enormous villain. They're saying, "Oh hell, it's not really good." And Deku sees Tree Man and a villain fight. They walks up to some person and says, "What's going on?" And says, "Well, a villain got caught trying to steal a lady's purse and activate this quirk." And Deku always has a bag on him, but he always has his machete and mask stuck under his clothes. Deku goes to his mum saying, "Mum, I'm going to deal with this." He says, "What, Deku?" Deku runs off. He puts his mask back on and he's holding a machete. Deku still wants to be a hero. Like All Might. Even with no quirk. Deku practically jumps over pretty much everyone. And then everyone's like, "Wait, who's he?" Deku runs with his machete. And the villain sees him. He says that and then he just tries to hit Deku with his fist. Deku jumps on his fist, stabs him in the arm, and then Deku grabs his machete and runs up to the villain's face. The villain tries to grab him, but Deku just jumps on the other arm, and then stab right in the eye. Once of shockwave of screams, everyone's covering their ears. Dream was "What the?" The Mount Lady hits him. And then Deku goes, practically flying to a building. The mountain lady says, did I hit someone? But then Fiona says, yes, you did, mountain lady. You just hit him. And then they see Deku climb out the wall like it was nothing. They snap his bones like, saying, I can't hurt. Everyone's just amazed, saying this guy must have like a shock absorption quirk or something. Like, look how he moves as well. Does he have 2 quirks? Enhancement quirk? And then they all start to find Deku. And they say, hey, what's your quirk? Deku said, well, I'm quirkless. And they say, yeah, nice joke. And Deku says, I wasn't joking, I'm quirkless. And Deku says, and they say, well, you can't be, look at your body. Deku says, well, training. Brutal training for 11 years straight. Then they're all just dumbfounded. They all start asking questions, but Deku starts to walk off, but just before he walks off, they say, are you a new hero? What's your hero name? Then Deku says, I'm not a hero yet, but my hero name is going to be Jason. Jason Voorhees. And then they start writing that down. And then says that Deku just walks over to like his mother and his auntie, and they walk off. Deku puts his mask off, puts Machete back in like his clothes, and she says, the auntie says, Deku, wow, I didn't know he was that strong. I thought, never mind. And then Inko says, Deku said it's so big, it'll be a great hero. Then Deku says, oh, it should be some holidays in like a couple of weeks. And then she said, yes, of course. Then Kotsuki, then, Deku's auntie says, well, Bokigo's mum says, are you going to go in UA? Then Deku says, what's UA? Because he didn't know, he's like only 4, so he didn't really know about that school. Then she tells him all about it. It's number 1 hero school. All men went. Deku said, well, if all men went there, I'm definitely going there. As well, you got to go to the school, she said. Then Deku isn't dumb, but he isn't smart either. Like smart. So for next week, or next day, Deku's been studying, and then the next day, Deku walks into school. Everyone's just looking at him saying, is that a teacher in the school uniform or something? That's weird. And then the teacher said, class, we have a new student today. And then the door says, sir, am I allowed in? And then says, yes, Deku. Yes, Midoriya. He comes in. He has to bend through the door to get past. Well, not bend, he's got to walk through. He's just really tall pretty much. He's got really bulkier. He walks through. And then he says, hello, class. Nice to meet you. I'm your new classmate, Zuko Midoriya. When Bakugo hears that name, then he says, Deku? And then Midoriya looks over and sees Bakugo. And Deku says, Kachan, long time no see. Then everyone's just looking back and forth saying, Kachan, you know this guy? And then Bakugo stands up and rushes to Deku. How? They said you dead. And then Deku says, well, news can be deceiving. I only fell into a portal. I only trained. Then Deku said, did you knock your quirk or something? Look at you. But then Deku said, nope. Training. Bakugo said, what? To training to this? Yeah. So in the last part, Deku just went to school for the first time in 11 years. And he just met Bakugo. So Bakugo, the next day, walked up to Deku saying, how? What happened? How are you alive? Then Deku answered, meet me after school. Come to mine, I'll tell everything. Then the whole day passes. Deku gets home like an hour before Bakugo comes. So he just eats some food, changes, mends the broken bed, and 1 hour later, Bakugo knocks on the door. Then Deku says, "Oh, I got it, Mum." Deku opens the door, and Bakugo comes in. And Bakugo's mum's there as well. Because Bakugo, Mum wanted to know what happened to Deku as well. So she just tagged along as well. She says, "Hi Baku, hi Auntie." She says, "Hi Deku." Bakugo says, "No," Bakugo's mum says, and Bakugo says, "Sup, Deku." They go in, the Deku tells everyone about the story. But he doesn't tell anything about Jason, he just says a friend. Of course, he says everything about Camp Crystal Lake, stuff like that. And they're really shocked that Deku asks, "Can you please keep this a secret?" Then they all say, "Sure." Well, so for the next 2 weeks, everything's just pretty normal till the start of the anime. The teacher walks in the classroom saying, "I got these papers for your job applicants in the future." Then he just throws them up again saying, "Oh, who's kidding? I know you all want to be heroes." The Bakugo says, "Well, Then he says to the teacher, "Don't involve me with these B classes." He says all that same stuff, but then he says, "Anyone whose butt Deku's gone to UA, get their ass beat." Then Deku says, "Don't worry, Bakugo, I'm going UA." And then after school, Deku just is walking. Let's say he wants to head home faster, because he likes making weapons, sharpening his blade, stuff like that. Deku's walking through the tunnel, and Deku's just getting this really sense, because Jason taught him when someone's behind him, stuff like that, because he's a hunter. And Deku jumps back, dodging the sludge villain, trying to grab him. Then sludge villain says, "You got quite a nice body, kid. Don't mind if I take it." Sludge villain does that. But Deku always has his machete in school. Deku grabs his machete, slices the sludge villain right into half. Sludge villain says, "Nice try." He gets squatted back up, and Deku drops his machete. But Deku still gets suffocated, but then All Might saves him. Then Deku doesn't really fanboy. To be honest, he thinks Jason as his idol. Deku says thank you to All Might, asks for his autograph, puts it away, and grabs the sword. Well, his machete, and All Might says, "Young man, why do you have a machete?" And Deku says, "Well, I just keep it. You know how things are precious to people." Deku puts it down into his trousers and says, "Goodbye, All Might." This is a goodbye, young man. And Sludge has been captured, but let's say All Might overshot the jump and it fell out. And 20 minutes later, Deku hears a massive explosion. Deku runs over the explosion and he sees a kid being hostage, but he sees the pros doing nothing. So Deku realizes it's Bakugo. Deku says, "I gotta do something." Deku runs into an alley and then puts his mask back on, because he always has his mask on, pulls out his machete. And I'm gonna say Jason taught Deku some skills, his stuff like that, because technically he does it like a scare tactic to make them uneasy. So everyone's just starting to shout, but then they just hear an echo going. Then they just look around, and then there's some kid with a grey black t-shirt walking some machete scraping across the ground, and they're seeing this noise saying Sludgeman says, "I recognise that machete, but what's this intense fear and blood loss?" Then Sludgeman's slowly letting go of Bakugo, because he's slowly realising, I can't take this guy. Sure, he's got machete, but his blood loss is out of control. And then Deku starts, and just books it in front of him. He's running like super fast. But the sorcerer can even see him. Deku slices with all his strength, cutting Bucko out of it, and then grabbing it and throwing him back. Then all the pros just start swarming Sasuke. At the end of the attack, all the pros got Deku saying, "That's so dangerous." And then say Death Arms said, "What are you thinking, kid?" And he tries to hit Deku. The knock on his head, but then Deku grabs his arm and makes him go to the ground. Deku says, "Well, at least I did something. Death Arms." Now all the news that looking up saying, "Death Arms, Death Arms, Death Arms." You say you're strong, but you're looking at a quirkless person that you're breaking your arm. Death's like, "Ah!" And but the news was saying, "Hey, it's Jason. The guy who saved the woman, the villain attack a couple of weeks back." And then Deku gets swarmed by one support saying, Jason, are you going to be out here regularly?" Like stuff like that, answering questions about things. It says some really inspirational speech that he learned from like a book. Quite or something. A hero can never save someone all the time. You must always try to save people that are in front of you. And others, if they're far enough and you can see them, always push to save them as well. He says some like really emotional speech so that everyone starts like to love him even more. And Deku just walks off, but before that, Bakugo sees Deku. Well, not see, just goes after him. So he knows Deku has like that mask and always goes to his machete. And just recap, almost back in the crowd joke and says, "I know that machete." And almost goes for this intense bloodlust. Then he sees Deku save him, then says, "He's so my successor." Then Deku's walking home. Bakugo says, "Thank you." You look really nice at tone. "Thank you, Midoriya." Then he just runs off. Then almost says, "I am here." Spits up blood and tells Deku will be my successor. All that. Everything but one for all, pretty much. Except all for one, stuff like that. Then I'm not going to say Deku actually says yes. Because he's always loved All Might. And actually, no, that's no, no. He actually says no. He almost says, "What? Why not?" Deku said to his friend, "All Might, I promise my friend, with his training and power, I shall always be the strongest. With his power, I will always save someone. Others." And then Deku just walks past All Might saying, "I'm very sorry, All Might." And he walks past him, heads home. Just before that, All Might says, "Do I at least know your name?" Deku says, "Izuku Midoriya. Just to meet you, All Might." And then that night, Nick gets home. He feels really weird. Like his hands start to shake a little bit, but that's it. But when he's asleep, he gets a dream. Then he just starts hearing Mother's voice. "Midoriya." Jason's mother, by the way. Then Nick says, "Mother." Then he just sees Jason burned up. Then he says, "Hello, Deku." Then Deku runs over, tackles Jason to the ground and hugs him as tears are forming. Then Jason says, Hey, little one, calm down." Then Jason says, "I told you I'll always be with you." And that was literal. Then Jason says, "I got a little gift for you." Then Deku says, "But it's happened so fast. How are you even here?" And he tells him while he was training, when he was asleep, "I did a ritual on you." And Deku says, "What ritual?" "Half my soul is in you, Deku." Deku says, "Wait, what?" "I knew one day I would never live on, but I thought I could always help someone. Other people, if I somehow lived within you." And Deku saying, "Oh." thank you. He says, then Jason says, are you not freaked out or anything? Then Deku says, no. Dad. He says, don't, Dad. Then Jason starts getting some tears. Then he hugs him. It's okay, Deku. The mother walks over, because she's in like a body form right now. She hands Deku like a book. Then Deku says, what's this, Mother? You'll love it. It's a trick that Jason's been holding on for a while. He's never known to use it, so she says, well, I thought you might want to try it out. Then they say, we gotta go now. We'll see you again soon. Deku says, wait. Deku in cold sweat wakes up, but he feels in his hand a really run down leather book. Then Deku says, no way. Then Deku opens the book and then he sees spells, incantations, and voodoo stuff, none of that. And Deku just goes back to sleep. Then the next morning, Deku opens it up and says, I got to do with this stuff. It's also the summer holidays, by the way. So for the first 2 months, Deku's been doing some voodoo stuff, how to, like, regeneration. And I say it's pretty good regeneration. I say it's good regeneration. It's like, I say it's good as Michael Myers. Like when Michael got shot 6 times in the head with a revolver, Deku can take 8 shots before actually feel a lot of pain and regeneration, gets overwhelmed. I say get super strength, like more super strength. We're doing like some blood incantations with his own blood. He can lift up a car, tops. Not a car, but for now he can lift up a car. A truck, tops. Then Deku's just another one saying not telekinesis, like what was it? I'm just like telekinesis, like to bring in like his weapon closer to him. Deku learns that, and the 10 months are over. Deku says, "Well, that went fast." And Deku's got like a lot of incantation stuff like that, but it doesn't really have to say any of them. It's like a lot of voodoo magic. Jason even got like one saying he can't die, but he can, but he'll just be reborn like another thing. He can only do it once though. It's like that type of voodoo thing. So here comes the entrance exam. I won't say Deku's nervous because he believes he can do it. So Deku's just walking. Then he sees a girl by the trip, and this is gonna be Araka. Deku grabs her bag and pulls it back up. It says, "Are you okay?" And she starts to blossom. Yeah, I'm okay. Because she's got in her head saying, "Who is this guy?" He puts her down. It says, "Are you a teacher or something?" He starts to laugh a little bit. "No, I'm actually trying to enter UA." It says, "Wait, you're a student?" "Not a student, like, it's participating." "Look at you." And Deku says, "I believe I'm actually 15. And she's like, mouth wide open. Okay, see you around. Also, what's your name?" She says, "Zuka Midoriya." She says, "I'll Jackal Raka." She has a smile and walks off. Deku says, "Well, that's confusing." Deku walks off and he sees Boki go. Then he sits down and he says, "Sup, Boki go." And then Deku chats a little bit too loud, but then it just looks as like she says everything like Deku, but Deku isn't shy. He looks at Ida with a death glare. Well, not a death glare, like sit back down glare. Then Ida like reluctantly just sits back down because he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure on him. So he sits back down, and then the written exam starts. So he's practically just writing. I don't say Deku's not dumb or smart. I say he got a mid-like, I don't know, a mighty 12th place out of like 100 copper students. And I said it's pretty solid. But now it's the training, the fighting exam. Deku's stretching his muscles. But then Ida walks up to him from a different reason. And he says, "What was you doing?" Then Deku says, "Sorry, who are you?" And he says, "I'm the one who stood up and said some stuff about you." Then he says, "Oh, you're him? They don't worry about it, it's fine." Then he says, "What did you do?" Then Deku says, "I'll tell you later." It says, "What's your name?" He said, "Tena Ida." Then he says, "Wait a minute, you're a genuine little brother, aren't you?" Then he says, "Yes." "How? Do you know him or something?" "Yeah, I'm actually pretty good friends with him." Say hello to him around this. Then President Mike says, 3, 2, 1, go! They all run out the gate, and Deku's running on blinding speeds. Well, not blinding speeds, like the human eye can barely see him, pretty much. Deku's just punching the robots because he can't get his machete. Punching it and punching it and punching it. And then Deku is so strong right now, he's literally picking up the robots that, like, when they're still moving and throwing them at other robots. Deku literally picked up a car and threw it at another robot, hitting 4 of them. Shazam just started like 2 minutes ago and got like 96 points. Then, I said 2-3 more minutes go by, he's like 132. Then he's the 0-pointer. He's a bunch of people running, and then he's help, help. With his keen senses, thanks to Jason, he hears a Rucker screaming for help. And Deku, with his hero mentality, runs out, full speed. And I say Deku didn't have time to pick up the rubble, but this is when something happens. Deku says, "Jason, please help me." And then Deku's eyes just start to, one of them left side starts to go completely black, like a black void. And Deku's hand literally goes, both his hands go up. And just when 0 points about to step on him, yeah, Deku's holding up the 0 points up with both his arms. And everyone's looking at him like the smoke's gone, saying, "Is he holding that up?" They'll see him like with his hands pushing it up. Well, not pushing it up, like slowly holding it up. They're saying, "Is he holding the damn robot?" Then Deku says, "Ida, help! Get the girl out there!" Then Ida, with fear, and gets out of his trance and runs and gets her out, putting the rubble off. But then they're going back to get Deku, but the robot's so much strength and squishes Deku, what they think. But they didn't know Deku punched into the ground with his feet, yeah, the very last step, and went under it. And then the robot got deactivated because they thought they killed the student. But Deku on the ground went out bashing through concrete. But then they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't be fast enough." And then he says, then Deku popped out the ground saying, "What are you talking about?" He just turns around and everyone just sees him pop out the ground with a dirty wiping t-shirt. That was fun. He says, "Well, see you guys." During the last part, it was Edgeworth's out, and Deku saves a rocker, and President Mike said it's the end, and then Deku says, "Well, see ya." Deku walks out. Then Deku's on the way back home, but then he sees the girl he saved run up to her, run up to him and said, "Thank you, thank you." Then she says, "Thank you again. Also, what's your name? I kind of forgot, sorry." Deku says, "Deku." And if Deku didn't tell her his name went to her in the last part, I'm just going to recon that. And then Deku said, "No problem. Well, I've got to go. Nice meeting you again." And Deku walks off, and she's just standing there with a blank stare. So Deku gets home. There's 2 people waiting for him. Deku's mum and Bakugo's mum. And Deku walks in saying, "Hi auntie, hi mum, what's up?" And then they both hug Deku, saying, Deku, did you pass? Then Deku says, well, I got to wait for my results first, but I think I did pretty good. Then Deku looks over to his auntie. Auntie, where's Bucky? Aren't you meant to be at home for him? She says, oh, it's fine. He's okay. His dad's there. He says, I want to see you. He says, why? And then she says, I'm going to tell you some stuff. Some secrets. And then she tells Deku, about, what is it? About Bucko's quirk. To give him a good little edge about what you ate. And Deku says, thanks, Auntie. And then, technically, Deku wasn't around the research all about Bucko's quirk, so she gave him some tips. Then she leaves, saying, I gotta go see the Bakugo and the boys at home. See you, Deku. And she says, bye, Inko. I mean, not Inko, Midoriya's mum. I can't remember. And Deku says, bye, Auntie. Then Deku's mum says bye as well. Then Deku says, well, Mum, I gotta go. Get some sleep. And so Deku walked into his room. And then he just looks over to his desk and he sees the book glowing. Like vibrating like a little reddy black aura. Deku says, well, that's no. And then Deku opens it up. And then a bunch of black smoke flies on the Deku, covering up his whole body. And then Deku's in a void. And Jason's next to him. Deku says, Jason? Jason? Where are we? Then Jason said, well, it's time for me to tell you. You called upon my powers. And Deku says, wait, what? When you saving the girl, you said my name. And, well, you had enough strength to hold up the robot. Then Deku said, yeah, how did you? I do that. Did you help me with it? Then Jason said, yes. Then Jason says, well, Deku, I'm not fully human. I'm actually a supernatural. I've got super strength, super speed. Well, Jason says, well, not super speed, but you get what I mean. I'm super, pretty much. And Deku says, so, I said your name, I somehow harness your strength? Jason said, remember, Deku, my soul, or half of it's in you. So when you call upon my name, one of your eyes will turn black like mine. And you can also use the magic I do, like bonding a part of your soul to another item. So if you die, you won't fully die. You will come back. Then Deku says, really? That's some high-tech magic, the book said. And Jason said, yeah, but you're technically related to me now. And Jason says, that's just the okay side of my power, but there's one downside to it. And Deku says, what? As you got half of me, you're slowly going to start becoming me. And Deku says, what do you mean I'll slowly becoming you? Then he says, you'll start to grow like my body mass. You'll start losing your emotions. And, well, that's pretty much it, but slowly over time, if you've experienced enough happiness, your emotions will slowly start to come back, like it's happening to me. Then Deku says, oh, okay. And then Jason takes off his mask. Deku sees his face because he knows what his face looks like. And I'm not going to say, Deku doesn't have Jason's mask, he's got his own mask. And Jason gives his mask to Deku. Then Deku says, Jason, why are you giving me your mask? And Jason says, well, kid, my time's up. Oh, running out, more like. Deku says, what do you mean it's running out? I'm only able to speak with you through, well, my other half of the soul. But my soul's slowly starting to become yours and ours together, so I'll start losing the connection, and it's already starting to happen. Deku says, what do you mean? We're both in different worlds, Deku. But you can't stay like this forever. I say we've got a couple more months before I just disappear. Mother will always stay with you, though. As long as you have that mask, Mother will always stay with you, and I will always be with you. Your memories, your heart, and the mask, and your soul. And Jason says a little grin, because... Sorry this happened to you. And Deku. Jason says, it's okay, kid. Now, you better go. There's some new spells in the book, by the way. You might want to learn them. Till we meet again, my son. And Deku's had like a blunt scare, and a tear starts going down, but then Jason pushes him, and then he wakes up into his real world. Deku's like, Jason. He wipes his tear away. Deku gets up, and he sees in his left hand Jason's mask, and then Deku says, I will carry on your legacy, Jason. He puts it on, and then he walks over to the book. And Deku says, well, what's this new spell about? Deku reads all details like you bind your soul to an item. If you die, you'll come back to that item's place where it was. So Deku takes Jason's mask off, and then he slowly starts to bind his soul with Jason's mask. Then he puts it in like a black box on his bed, and puts it for Shelly there as well. Well, not just to keep safekeeping. He puts it on his bed. Deku says, well, hopefully I won't have to use this. So the 2 weeks pass, and then Deku gets a letter from UA. Then Deku opens up and sees All Might like a hologram. And Then Deku sees the hologram All Might. Nomu says, well, young Midoriya, nice to meet you again. I can't believe you came first. Man, I really wish you could be my successor. But your choices and your wish. It is a free country after all. And then he says, wow, he really wants to be a successor. Oh well. Then it almost says, you know, good work for saving the girl. You get 60 more points. I think you've got around 245 points. Okay. So the week it starts to UA, and then he starts going to the entrance to UA, and then he walks in to the school, and then there's a bunch of people just looking at him because, well, one, he's really tall, muscular. All the girls start to get like a little drool come down the mouth. All the men looking at me because I respect you, but damn, because, well, they want his body, because all the girls looking at him. When Deku finally makes it to Class 1A, he opens the door. He opens it a bit too loud, and everyone just looks over. And then Deku walks in, and then he just sits down. Towering over everyone, but then Ida comes up to him saying, oh, hello, doing like his arm up and down. Nice to meet you. What's your name, sir? Deku says, Zuko Midoriya. Deku stands up. He's taller than Ida. Puts his hand down and shakes his hand. Says, it's nice to meet you. What's your quirk? And Deku says, well, it's kind of complicated. Then he says, how so? And Deku says, well, I've got super strength, super speed. Because he still holds like his normal speed, because he's not like Jason. He's not like really slow. I've got super stamina, stuff like that. I'm mostly just super. He says, I can tell why. And Nick says, oh yeah, I've also got magic. Oh, a sort of magic. He says, magic? He says, yeah, it's like my quirk. Well, it is my quirk. Nick says, oh, I don't know. Nick says, I can bind my soul to something to make it stronger. It's another spell he learned. He's not going to tell him about like the second life. That's like, no, that's a secret. I don't think anyone can do the voodoo magic. It's just, it'll just take them a long time. Jason's able to learn it really fast because, well, he's supernatural, and technically Deku's now supernatural. And he says, what did you do with your eye? It turned completely black. And you lifted up the robot. Deku says, well, just say it's a darker side of me. And he says, I see. Then Eraserhead comes in. Be quiet. Took you a whole damn minute to shut up. Everyone looks at him saying, who are you? He says, I'm your homeroom teacher. Now sit down. Then he says, we're doing a test. And Kawashima says, well, we just did a test to get in. And then Awa says, you did an entrance exam. I need to know your skills of your ranking in the class. Then they all start winding. He says, put these on. And then like a bunch of things come up the wall and they see P outfits. Then they put them, they carry them and then they go to the locker room. Everyone's just staring at Deku, including Bakugo and Kawashima. They see that he's towering over everyone. He's got scars, muscles. He's got like a 10 pack. Kawashima says, man, that's manly. Sure, bro. Then Deku says, thanks. And he also says, how do you get those scars? Deku says, hunting. Then he goes down and says, that's super manly, bro. The Aaron just looks at Deku, saying, why can't I be him? Because I don't know why nearly every man would want to be like Deku. Because one's super strong, he looks cool. And then they'll go outside. All the guys are waiting for them. And then Manella's running out and just looking at the girls in their outfits. He says, but then everyone just looks at Deku, towering over nearly everyone. And then I say he's not all my size. I say he's around. I say where he's like 8 inches bigger than Ida. My size. He's just bigger. He's more bulky as well. But all the girls say he's a 10 pack. They'll just say that's in unison. Then all the men just close their eyes and just start walking. Listen, we're never gonna win. We're never gonna win. And then I now give the ball to Deku. And he says, throw this as far as you can with quirk. And technically Deku's got supernatural strength, so Deku says, I'm ready to throw. Deku with all his might, he throws it, using some of his new voodoo magic to push things a little forward. It's not like telekinesis. He can just bring small objects further or closer to him. He propels it with all his strength and he uses his hand left out and pushes it out forward. Then Zara says, nice one, 945 meters. And so in the side jumps, Deku does decent. In the run, I say he does well. He's almost as fast as Ida. Well, he's using his quirk. I say Deku can keep up with him, but when he uses reciprocal burst, no way. Then it's, what is it, the jump. Deku always puts most of his force in his legs and jumps. He gets second. I'd say he got second highest, third. Because Bakugo can just use explosion to propel himself forward, and Momo can just make a pole to propel herself forward. And then the strength test. Ellen's looking at quadruple arms, guy, saying, that's good. But then they hear a massive. They look at Deku. The machine's completely crushed and like a little ball. Deku literally crushed it, broke all the thing around it, spun it around, starts to squish it and throws it on the floor. Says, that's fun. What's next? Ellen's just looking at Deku. And Zara says, you're going to be paying for that, you know. And Deku says, well, yeah, I know. But he said, use all your strength. And that's being 25% of my strength. I'm sorry. And they said, you've got to be kidding me. Come on. And then, this is good. I say, he says, doesn't kick anyone out. One, because he sees how overpowered Deku is. That no one actually had the chance to shine in any of them. Then he says, it was only a test. And little, you say, sigh, that's relief. So in the last part, Deku just finished the assessment test from Aizawa. Just get this part. The next day, Deku comes into school and sits down, but then he hears I am here. And then he looks at the door and sees it's All Might. And All Might says, hello class. Today we will be doing combat training. And then so you're going to need to put these on. He hit the button in the wall, a bunch of suits come out. Then he says, go to the change room and don't be late. They all head to the change room, they all start to get changed their outfits, but then they look at Deku's. Some weird clothes, but they see like some black, big black, kind of, well, no, just big black leather jacket and leather jeans and big leather boots. But he's also got like a hockey mask and he's got like something to put his machete on his back. They don't want to say Deku, that's kind of weird. Then Deku says, nah, I like it though. It's not that weird as well. Then I say, no, it's pretty weird. Then everyone walks out and then all the girls saying, you guys look cool. Then they say, look at Deku. Then Deku's just walking out and they hear like a ch-ch-ch. Because Deku's not activated. First time they did is hear it because the echo. They look at Deku for them wear full black leather suit. It's not like full leather biker suit. It's kind of like Ghost Rider's. Yeah, it's like Ghost Rider's suit. But then I see Deku's mask and machete on his back. Then I say, oh, cool and kind of creepy. Then All Might says, test. And I'm going to say it's different. For this one, I'm going to say it's Bakugo and Todoroki versus Deku and what's her name? Yeah, Momo. So Momo tells Deku about a quirk. She can create things, and Deku says, well, I've got some unique abilities: regeneration, super strength, super speed. I've got almost super intelligence. I'm quite skilled in hand-to-hand combat. I can use almost any hunting weapon, but I'm most good at my machete. Then he says, oh, okay. So they start making a plan. And Bakugo's just, he doesn't hate Deku, he just wants to win and prove he's the strongest in the class. So Todoroki says, wait here, he freezes the whole building, but they both get froze, but Momo makes a blowtorch and starts to get reversed, but Deku says, no need. Then Deku lifts his foot up and it breaks immediately. Everyone's like, whoa, that's super strength. Cool. Because they're looking on the monitor. Deku then hit hers and it pretty much shatters. Then Deku says, it might be too cold for you. Deku takes his leather jacket and puts it on Momo. Then says, here you go. And she has a kind of little plus, says, thank you. And then he Princess Bride style carries her. And it's like, all the guys saying, ooh. Then he just holds her, but then, because Todoroki treats everything, he just throws the bottom floors. Bakugo's still running out of explosions. Deku says, wait here. Because he hears and thinks it was hunting ability of Jason. Then Bakugo turns the corner. Deku just tanks the hit with the explosion. Then Bakugo says, damn, I forgot, you really are strong. Because Bakugo knows Deku's super strong, so doesn't want to get near him. So he jumps back immediately and activates his gauntlets. You think it's over dramatic, but he knows Deku is a master strategist, pretty much. He hunts his prey, he's got 3 tactics, super strength, a little bit of telekinesis and voodoo powers. He's not messing around. So he jumps back, Bakugo does, and activates a gauntlet. Hit Deku head on, and it says, Bakugo, don't! It hits Deku, nothing happens. Then Deku is saying, that's all we got, bro. And then Bakugo charges out at him with explosions and hitting him. Doing nothing, when Deku just backhands him and he's unconscious. When he hit him so hard, yeah, and then his body went into a wall. Even a cartoon figure shape. Then everyone's like, ooh, he's mad. All the girls are saying that, but then all the men saying, we don't have a chance, we don't have a chance, we don't have a chance, we don't have a chance. Then he says to Momo, are you okay? Then he puts his hand down. Then she starts to blush even more. She says, yes. She puts her hand and grabs Deku's hand. And she feels a really warm and soft hand. Then he picks her up saying, wait here. Then she says, okay. And Deku says, hang on. He ties the pocket and says, where's my tape? Can I have yours? And she hands him her tape. Says, thanks, I'll deal with this. And Deku looks up at the building, and he used one of his voodoo magic detection, because well he's a hunter. He's got strong hearing as well, so he's to see Todoroki, well not see but hears. Deku runs back and jumps into the wall, and his fingers are digging into the concrete, climbing up. And then when Deku's at the window, he sees Todoroki putting ice around the bomb. And Deku says, clever. Not clever enough. Deku breaks the window and jumps in. Todoroki looking quite shocked, saying, how did he get up there? Never mind. He shoots a bunch of ice at him. They hit Deku, but they can't, well, push him back. They don't freeze his body, but then he just keeps breaking out. Then Todoroki says, damn. Deku says, is this all you got, Todoroki? Todoroki tries to get up close to Deku because Deku doesn't know about his hand-to-hand combat abilities. Then when Todoroki tries to hit him with a couple punches, Deku just blocks him with super blind speeds. This is pathetic. Even so, the one go. Then Deku would put flick his finger at Todoroki, hitting him back into the bomb, or into the ice, covering the bomb and shattering it. Then was like, he's so strong. They walked over to the bomb and says, I win. Then he was the one that says, hero teams win. So no one starts to walk out and do all their tests. And when Deku's watching, everyone says, thank you. And then when everyone's saying all their tests, Deku, Nomu was saying, well, Deku was very strong on his own, but I should have done more. Then they all start to agree. That's it. What's next? And then I'm going to say it's a couple more weeks. No, it's cool. And then it's then it's the total. Then it's the USJ. And I'm skipped a lot, but I can't remember it. So it's the USJ attack. Deku's in his big black leather costume. Well, big black Ghost Rider suit, and they're on the bus. And then Sui asks Deku about, you got a really interesting quirk, Deku. That's all your abilities? Deku says, there's a lot. He says, we got a while. Just tell us. Super strength, super speed, almost super intelligence. I've got a small bit of telekinesis. I can hunt. I got a skill, makes people unable to move. He just says more about the skills he's been picking up. And I was really impressed. Then no one gets stronger to catch up with him. And Zao says, be quiet, it's time to get off the bus. To go to the USA, but then they meet 13. Then 13 looks over the student, but then they see Deku, and she turns to when I say she's a Z, it's a she. She turns to Zawa saying, Mr. Zawa, I didn't know you'd be bringing another hero. Then Zawa starts laughing. He's not a hero, he's a student. She walks up to him, puts her head above her, and she's only up to a bit of his stomach region. Then says, wow, you're quite tall. And Deku says, yeah, I know. And then they walk in, and then with his keen senses, Deku hear noises, and he looks down where the portal opened. They see the villains open up, and then this is before even the Zawa, the Razorhead saw. And then he says, Mr. Zawa. Then he says, yes, Deku. It's Midoriya. Then he looks down, and he says, got ya. Then before even the Razorhead can jump in, Deku jumps in. At full speed, gut punching two villains. Then he keeps hitting them, knocking them unconscious. And then Deku just jumped down to fight the villains. And Deku's fighting villains, but then the Razorhead jumps down. But then, as poor Razorhead here gets to Deku to help, a massive portal shuts out all the students and Deku. And obviously, Deku falls into the water. And Deku is just thinking, this is my home turf. And Deku just starts to swim at blind, massive speeds. All the villains with water quirks saying he must have a water quirk as well. Damn. They're all trying to catch up with Deku. When Sue and grabs Mineta and puts them on the boat, they just see a bunch of villains using their quirks, but they see that still a bunch of black levers, and so it's right, is that Deku? Then Mineta says, yeah, it's Deku. They look at him. He's swimming at blind speeds. Then he punches the villain right in the face, sending him underwater. Then Deku goes underwater. All of them start charging at him, and then Deku just starts to hit them, and then says a little heart in his head. He grabs his machete, and then he starts to slice at the villains. All Mineta and Usui, I can't remember her name. Sue, I'm pretty sure Sue. You see a bunch of blood coming out of the water, and Ben's just floating up with a cut all over them. Then she says, oh man. The Mineta just starts to throw up. Then a bunch of villains start swimming up, and they're all trying to swim away, but Deku's just too fast. And then Deku, with the last villain, cuts his hand off because he's still raised by Jason. He's ruthless, and punches him out the water. Then he swims over to the boat. Then he jumps out the water onto the boat. And then when they're still being sick, and Sue said, that was very brutal, Deku. And they're still throwing up. And Deku says, yeah, sorry. Water's kind of like home turf. Then he says, sorry, I forgot to tell you that in the bus. And then there's a massive explosion in where Razorhead is. Then Deku says, guys, hold on. They'll grab one. Then Sue says, why? Then Deku says, just grab one. Then they grab onto Deku, and when they're holding the Deku, then Deku just jumps to the water and just books it. And Deku's 3 times faster than Sue, and she's got a walk. She's got literally a quirk that makes her swim faster. And they get to land a couple of seconds. Then they all start running. Oh, not running. I say Deku picks them both up and then just starts running at full speed. He gets there over in 18 seconds. He gets to the place where they were. Then he sees a bunch of villains attacking Razorhead, but then the disintegration guy. He says to Nomu, get a Razorhead, and Nomu grabs Razorhead's head and starts smashing it violently across to the ground. The blood splattered everywhere. It's horrible, pretty much. Nick says, oh, that's gonna leave a mark. And he puts them both down. But after the disintegration guy looks over and he sees them, he runs over and tries to get hit Sue. Then Deku grabs his machete, and slices at him. But the portal guy opens the portal, and the machete goes directly into Deku's back. Then the disintegration guy backs up. He says, nice try. I hear we're using a weapon. No, not one. Deku says, yeah. He pulls the machete out of his back. And then he goes for the jacket off. And they all just see Deku's back start to regenerate really fast. And then also Deku's been researching about some new spells in the last weeks, and he found a really high class one. Like, it's super high class. Then also, to get back to the story, Deku says, he snaps his neck and he charges up speed, almost unseeable from the human eye, and cuts the disintegration guy in like the cheek. Like it's like he just dodges directly before it hits him in the head. It skins him and a bunch of blood comes out of his cheek. He taps his hand saying, "Ugh, Nomu, deal with him." The Nomu runs over to Deku, punching him with his right hook, punching him across the whole USJ. Deku gets up a little bit, a little bloody, but he starts to heal. Says, "That's nice. Try better." Deku at blind speed, he runs. In a minute, he's almost back there. Then Disintegration says, "That was easy." He also knows, and he goes after Sue. Before he's like tackle, Deku tackles him to the ground. So he uses his right hook and starts beating him. And he just starts beating him until he's got like a broken nose, pretty much. Then he picks him up and he throws him. And then he's coughing up like, no, get him. Then Nomu charges at him. Then Nomu and Deku start going at him and smashes. Deku's get through back, then Deku says his words, "Jason, please help me." Deku's eyes completely go black, and Nomu's about to grab him, but then Deku grabs him, and you know like when the Hulk and the Hulk Buster have like the arms like the hands are together and they're pushing each other back and forth, pretty much. Pretty much what they're doing. It's like in the struggle. Then All Might says, "I am here." He sees Deku holding Nomu at bay. Then he says, "Jason, more power." Then his other eye completely goes black and he starts to squish Nomu's hands completely. Then he hits Nomu with his leg, grabs his machete and strikes his head right in the brain. Then the Nomu collapses and falls. And then Deku's panting. Then he looks over with a weird glare. One of his eyes is still black, but he's getting like a red glow off one of his right eye. He's activating his scare tactic now towards the villains. All the villains hear, especially the portal villain and the disintegration. They just see Deku with a machete, looking at them, blood dripping off the machete, slowly walking towards them. And Deku is just saying, they can't move, it's so frozen fear. But then it's pretty much a brutal attack. Almost taking down villains, and then Kawashima just looks at Deku. He's saying his words, and he's just walking to the villains, pretty much. Then the portal villain gets out of the daze and teleports them back to base. And then all the pro heroes show up. And then the villains say, Did he just leave us? And then everyone just starts fighting. All the villains, all the teachers just start brawling it out. Deku's got surrounded by like 4 villains. And then they say, "You can't be all 4 of us." Deku says, "Watch me." With a blunt speed, Deku kicks all 4 of them in the head. And they all go to the ground. And all of that broken noses, all bleeding, battered. There's no... Deku's eyes go back to normal. And he collapses. Because he hadn't used that much of Jason's power. He's only used 1 eye. It's the first time he's ever used 2 eyes of Jason's powers. And then All Might rushes over to him. He says, "Deku, but young Midoriya will be okay. Hang in there." Deku's bunch of medics come to see. They help everyone. They want to succeed Aizawa and Deku. Deku's fallen out in unconsciousness, and Aizawa's just unconscious completely. And then 4 days later, Deku wakes in hospital. Then he pops out of his bed. He starts the beep 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 beep. Then the doctor says, "Hey, calm down." Then Deku grabs one of the doctor's throat, saying, "Where's Aizawa?" Then he said, "Next door." Deku gets out of bed and he pretty much breaks the door down. He sees all the class 1A. Then they say, "Deku." Then he runs over saying, "Aizawa, are you okay?" You see Aizawa's just unconscious in bed, asleep. Then Momo says, "He's just asleep, Deku." Then Deku just sits on a chair. I'm so worried. I don't know what the girl just knows. Deku's just wearing those medical things. Medical clothes. That he's not wearing any clothes except that. Then Deku realizes this is Then Deku gets out and just moves to the bathroom, and all the girls are blushing mentally. The other men's like, "How is that? How is it that? How?" Yeah, you guys know what I was thinking about. I've references to. And Deku just ran to the bathroom and didn't look into it. So Deku asks for Kirishima to bring him his clothes. Kirishima says okay. He goes into Deku's room and grabs his clothes. There he puts them on and comes out. Then he goes to the doctor. "Doctor, when will Aizawa be better?" And then the doctor said, "He'll be fine, just a little bit of rest. Should be back in a week." And Deku said, "Oh, thank you." Then All Might comes to the door. "I am here." Everyone's really surprised to see All Might. Everyone says, "All Might, why are you here?" All Might says, "I came to see Sir Eraserhead." Then Dick says, "Sir, who can be our substitute teacher?" Then he says, "No one. You guys get a week off. We got to deal with this reporters at UA." Nick says, "Okay, sir." And Nick says, Doctor, can I go now?" Then the doctor says, "Well, she's meant to stay in for an hour or two, but I guess she looked fine enough." Then Doctor signs Deku out, and Deku starts to walk home. Deku's thinking, "Jason, what to do? And then Deku sees like a weird portal. It's like the same portal he went in when he's younger. And Deku says, "No way. Is that the..." Deku runs to the portal, then sucks him in. And then Deku's just in a forest, and Deku sees like a weird stone. Then Deku just says, "Must be home. Must be back to the forest." And Deku says, Jason! And Deku starts running. And then he's at a pond. He looks over. He sees a cabin. Then Deku said, "Oh, I'm back." Deku jumped in the water and starts to swim. And then a minute later, Deku's on the island. He's about to walk in, but he hears noises inside the cabin. Deku gets his machete he always carries. He doesn't know, he has to make sure. Then he opens the door. Then he looks in. It's Jason. Deku still holds his machete and he says, "Jason." Then Deku sees a really burnt jacket. That undead Jason, pretty much. Then Jason turns around and he says, "What took you so long, Deku?" Then Deku puts his machete away and says, "Jason." He hugs him. Then Jason pushes him off quickly. Hey, calm down, kid. Don't want to break my ribs. Then Deku says, yeah, sorry. What happened to you? And Jason said, the spirit thing. I have an ancient demon in my family. When I went down to hell, it brought me back up to life as like this. Normal stuff. Deku says, okay. Then Jason said, how do you even get here? Deku says, well, a portal opened up. Jason says, how do all these portals come up in your world? Then Deku says, well, no. And Deku says, well, is this Camp Crystal Lake? And then Jason says, sort of. And Deku says, what do you mean? I'm stuck in between worlds, pretty much. This is Camp Crystal Lake, but it isn't. It's like another realm of it. And Deku says, what do you mean, like another dimension? Then Jason says, yes, pretty much. But in this realm, slow moving way slower in your world. Like a day here, or a day in your world, like a year here. Then Deku says, well, I got 7 days. Then Jason says, oh man, this is gonna be fun. And then they go outside the hunt. I say they've been there for 2 years, so he's like 17 now, pretty much. And he's way bigger. Like he's actually bigger than Jason now. Jason's up to his neck, pretty much, and Deku's got way more muscle. And Nick says, well, I better go. Thanks, Jason. Jason says, come visit again, kid. And just about Deku about to leave, Jason says, hold up, kid, wait. Jason pulls out a piece of paper, and then he hands it to Deku. Wait, isn't this the ripped page from the book? Jason says, yeah, I think you are ready to learn it. And Deku says, thanks, Jason. Yeah, you're fun in that, kid. See you around. Deku says, okay, Dad. Then Deku turns around and walks off, and then Jason with a low tone says, yeah, my son. And Deku, the portal starts to open up again, and then Deku just jumps into it, sucking it in. Deku falls into the water in the beach again. Then Deku says, oh man, why is it always the beach? Then Deku starts to swim up. Then Deku sees in the reflection, he's way bigger. Like, he's taller, more muscular. Deku says, wow, how am I going to explain this? Oh, well, I'd say it's about part of my powers, I guess. And Deku slowly starts to walk home. Then he opens the door. And then, let's say Bakugo, Inko, and Bakugo's mum are just talking in the living room. And then Inko's saying, I don't know where he is. I haven't seen him for 2 days. Then Deku opens the door, the living room door, and he says, Mom. Then she opens, well, she looks over and Deku is way taller. Then he says, I'm back. Then she hugs him and he says, where have you been, my friends? And she says, why didn't you call? I didn't do it. I crushed my phone. Then she says, oh. And she says, why didn't you call on your other friend's phone? I crushed his phone. I may have to use a check to pay him back though. And then he says, so hey, is there dinner? Then she says, yes, we should be done ready soon. And then Bakugo says, Deku, you've changed. Deku says, no I haven't. Then Bakugo says, you've got way more muscle, you're way taller, and look at you. Hell, I'm up to your chest. I used to be up to nearly up to your shoulders. Well, not to your shoulders. I'm down to your stomach now. You're so tall. Then Deku says, well, it might be part of my powers then, aren't I? Then, yeah, Bakugo's mom says, wow, you have got taller. How? what kind of quirk you can have? He says, well, I gotta go. I need to get some sleep. Deku says bye and walks into his room. Then he just lays down. Deku slept for 2 days. So then Deku gets up. Deku goes to the kitchen, gets breakfast, then he starts learning spells. Or reading them, and he gets his pocket and sees a really high advanced spell. And it says necromancy. You know, when you bring someone back from the dead. Then, for the next 3 days, he's got a gist of it. He can do 4 to 5 zombies. He can also turn dead bodies. It's solo leveling. When he says arise, it's pretty much what he can do. I'm just gonna say he has to touch him in his hand, and then it's school. Deku walks in the school with Bakugo. Then Deku opens the door and he's to go for. He's got pretty much bend his head down and go through the door. Everyone looks over and then they see Deku's way bigger. Then everyone just runs over Deku and they say, "Deku, did you get bigger?" The Moko says, "Yes, he did. More muscular as well." The other men saying, "He's too much. He's already muscular enough. You don't got more muscle? Hell, come on, Deku, calm down. You're growing too fast." Deku says, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, my body just quits to grow." And then they all start saying, "Where's Izawa? Well, who's going to be his substitute?" Then they see Izawa and a bunch of bandits coming. And Deku says, "Sir, you should not be here." Then Izawa says, "It's okay, I'm fine." Then Deku says, "No, it isn't." Then Deku stands up, walks over to Izawa, and Izawa says, "What's wrong? What are you doing?" Then Deku gets like a little pen, pokes him. A bunch of blood starts coming out of his hand. Then he starts chanting some words, and a bunch of weird aura starts around and race ahead, like blacky purple aura. Then Deku says, "There you go, you can use your arms now." Then Eraserhead's able to move his arms. They're stiff, but he can still move them. Deku says, "Take it easy with them. It's still recovering. I've only been able to fix the bones a little bit." Then Eraserhead says, Thank you a lot." And then it's the lunch period. Well, lunch. So it's in the cafeteria. Also, he does it to Ida, the blonde guy, the copy quirks. He hits Ida in the head. Then he says, "We're going to beat you in the sport festival class, Renee. He's thinking you're better than us." Then he starts to get people's attention. And then Cold is about to come over and knock him out. But then just for that, Deku stands up and he's towering over him. He's twice, almost triple the size of him. Then he picks him up by the shirt. And then he says, "Get out of here, shorty. Before I make you get out." Then he says, "I'm starting. What are you gonna do?" Then Deku says, "This." He grabs him in his hand and he throws him out the cafeteria through the doors. Everyone's really shocked. See that this really big muscular dude literally just threw some guy out of the cafeteria. At pretty much blinding speed, he says, "Get out of here, you blonde idiot." No one likes a bad mouth at the table. So it's down to sports festival. So now, should I end it here? Nah, I think you guys deserve a longer video. It's sports festival. Then I say it's not the same as Bakugo doing the speech. I say Deku's doing the speech. So Deku is towering over everyone and he's walking over to the mic. And then he goes and he says, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? And Deku says, "Well, good. I hope you all have a lovely time at this boss festival, or try your best. He says something around those lines. Then he says, everyone, give it your all. And Deku walks off the stage. Everyone starts cheering and clapping for Deku. And all the women are just all the people just looking at Deku. Saying, and most of the girls saying, how is he this big? Because Deku's clothes are barely keeping together. He's so big. Like, his beanie form is barely staying together because he's got bigger. Like if you flex, all his clothes just tear off pretty much. Except his whole t-shirt just tear off pretty much. So Deku gets into a running position in the tunnel. And Midnight spins the wheel and lands on running. Obstacle course, yeah, that's it. Then Deku's in the tunnel. Everyone's trying to move away from Deku. Think he's so big and they don't want to get hit by him. Deku gets in a running position. Then Mike says, 3, 2, 1, go! Deku just runs. He runs past Ida. He runs past everyone with speed work. And Todoroki started faster than him. Because, well, he's smaller. He throws the floor. Then he's doing his running position. He starts running. It's breaking the ice and impact. And I say, a bunch of people get let free from it because all the ice pretty much start to crack. And Todoroki's looked behind him. He sees Deku's gaining on him fast. Todoroki's trying to use ice water. Deku just putting his arms up and just smashing through him. And President Mike says, whoa! Razorhead, what's this guy? He's in your class, right? What's his quirk? And then Razorhead said, well, it's kind of complicated. He hasn't really named it, but he's got supernatural, superhuman strength, superhuman speed. Reaction time's a little slow, but still good. He's got healing powers. I can't remember the rest, but he's shown a bunch of powers. He's got telekinesis. He said to me he can bind his soul to an object, so if he does die, he'll just come back. It's just hard. I don't even know his abilities. And I'm his homeroom teacher. And then he says, cool. Then I think, as they've been talking, Deku's already at he's past the 0 pointers pretty much. No one's struggling to keep up. And so it's, let's think. What was it? Yeah, it's, the holes at the canyon. Yeah, canyon. So I think Deku's already at the canyon. No one slowly gaining on him. Deku looks down saying, this rope will snap if I'm on it. And Deku has a plan. Deku could bring his weapon to him or away from him. And he can go to his weapon. When I say Deku, he's not going to use his weapon, but he always carries it. So, President Mike sees him. President Mike sees Deku bring out a machete. And Razor said, did he seriously bring his machete? I said he's allowed to bring his machete. Just because of story plot. Deku throws it and it digs into the ground. And Deku slowly starts to lift over to it. Then Deku says, it's going to take too long. Deku grabs it, puts it back in his trousers, then he just runs. The brick pillars just start to break on the impact of him landing. Like a bunch of them crumbled away pretty much at this point. Everyone just got to a canyon as well, and they just look and they see, oh come on. They see it's completely broken. The wires are gone pretty much. When I see Maze uses her gadgets to catch up with Deku, she's neck and neck with Deku. Then when she says, man, you are fast, can you go 5th gear? She hits it and she goes flying off, but then Deku says, okay then, yeah, I'll go 2nd gear. Deku gets into another running position and he catches up with her easily. He overtakes her. She says, are you serious? And then it's the mind tool. I think Deku goes 4th gear and it's twice faster even for Seppo Burst. I say that. And Deku is crazy fast. Like, the mine's got him. I say, the mine, he's moving so fast, the mine's not even blowing up. Because he's dodging them and moving at pretty much amazing speeds. And 2 minutes later, he reaches the tunnel. Because, let's be honest, they're not catching up. And if they did try, they could just hit them back. And so now, they're not experienced drill, and she says, it's the cavalry race. No, it's the cavalry battles. And I say everyone's just thinking, and she says, Deku's got 10 million points. Everyone looks over at Deku, but he gets a bit of blood loss, and they all just look away immediately. And I say, a bunch of people want to be with Deku, because 1, he's super tall, so it's going to be hard for them to grab the thing. 2, they've seen his speed. 3, they know how strong he is. Well, Class 2B doesn't, but Class 1A does. And I say, let me give you Bokiko, Ida, the guy of Dark Shadow, and Uraraka. I say Uraraka's the rider. Deku's a horse. So they also, a bunch of people start trying to go to Deku, but they get stuck in that concrete or goes and sinks them. Quicksand, yeah. Deku just steps out and stomps on the ground, shaking it a little bit, knocking them over. And Deku says, we just got to protect this and we're fine. And Uraraka says, yeah, I get that. Then, for the whole match, they got Dark Shadow keeping them safe, Bokko shooting people with explosions as they get near them. Deku just stomp on the ground, knocking them over. And I'd say, like, one of them people did get close, but then Deku just hit them back. They backhanded them, knocked them away. And then, I say a bunch of people start to storm Deku, and Deku just starts saying, they can't move, thanks to his scare tactics. Then Moko says, good work, Deku. It says, yeah, my thing's scaring people. Then, it's the end. They're all, Deku and the team were all in first, 10 million points. So now it's the battles. And now it's Deku vs Shinso. Shinso? Yeah. Then they walk into the field, and I say Deku got warned, so Deku just won't say anything, because he knows he can use the scare tactic without saying anything. He learned that one from Jason. So Shinso starts talking about Deku. Then he says, why don't you talk? It's rude to not speak to someone who's trying to speak to you. And then Deku just starts making that noise. Because he's still wearing the mask, so Shinso thinks that he's speaking. Then Deku just wants to amuse him. So then Shinso says, got you. Walk out the ring. Then Deku starts walking forward near the outskirts of the ring. Then Deku when he's next to Shinso, he gut punches him and throws him at the ring. Then he says, ow! Deku takes his mask off. Then Deku just says, I'll show you. Runs to me, he just says, starts around him. I don't have to speak to say those words. And Shinso says, I really did get the worst match. Deku says, well, you rely on your quote too much. You've been training. You might have a better chance. And Shinso finally realizes how stupid he was. So now it's Deku vs Todoroki. Todoroki's still, cold, and Deku starts to walk over, and Todoroki starts sending ice pillars and stuff at Deku. Deku's just catching one hand and just breaking them. Deku says, is this all you got? I can snap hard with a pinky. Then, out of desperation, Todoroki uses his fire side, blasting at Deku. I say it burnt as soon as his clothes. Deku actually has to dodge this. It seems there's a lot of firepower in it. Deku dodges, and as he's been stretching, he's like, the top half of his uniform is ripped completely. And then all the girls start getting the camera and start taking pictures, including Class 1B and A. Class 8, I say Momo and all the girls start getting a nosebleed. They go flying back. Everyone on TV just sees this kid with honor. I say he got an upgrade. He got 14. He got a 14 pack. His muscles are out of control. And Deku says, "I felt nice and toasty. Now that is stopped with my restrictions. Let's play." Deku blip. Pretty much at blind speed goes in front of Todoroki, picks him up by his head and slams him into the concrete. And then when Todoroki tries to use that, Deku throws Todoroki the outskirts of the ring. Then he tries using that finisher attack. Deku just stands there and just tanks it, breaks out of it like a boss. Then he says, "Oh well." He pretty much runs and knees Todoroki in the face, sending him flying outside the ring. Deku says, "Well, that's wrong." Now Bakugo versus Deku. Just get into this part. So Bakugo says, "Well, we'll see who's finally stronger." Then Bakugo says, "I know I'm not going to win this, but at least want a chance." Deku says, "Yeah, okay, bring it." Then they start to go out and fight. So Bakugo charges at Deku using explosions. Deku's dodging with pretty much ease. I see Bakugo gets one good hit on Deku right in the gut with explosions. Deku says, "That felt nice. A little itch there. I'll show how I do it." Deku gut punches Bakugo, grabs his leg, and uses like a good old-fashioned Hulk move. Like Hulk did to Loki, he grabs his legs and keeps smashing them back and forth. Bakugo can't move, pretty much all his bones being broken at this point. Then Bakugo says, "I can't move." Then Deku says, "I'll end this now." Deku picks up Bakugo and puts him down outside of the ring. The man that says, "Suki Midoriya wins." Then Bakugo just standing on the podium with like a cast on, well, a whole body cast. Todoroki's just standing there in a lot of pain, and Deku's just standing. He's calling All Might, and All Might says, "Congratulations on Midoriya. You'll come in first place." In the last part, Deku just won the sports festival. So let's carry on. So the next day after the sports festival, Deku walks in the class and then he sits down. Then a racerhead walks in the room and he says, "Everyone settle down. Now, time for your internships." Then everyone starts questioning, "Internships? What's internships?" Then Aizawa does face palms. Then he says, "Why did you think you was doing the sports festival? You was doing it to impress the heroes that was going to take you aboard, well, to the agency so you can learn from them." And then everyone says, "Oh, yeah, okay." Then Deku just put his arm on his cheek, just trying to relax. Then Aizawa ran out the board, and everyone just says, "Todoroki got so much points." Todoroki has 2,000 points. Bakugo's got 1,300, and Deku's got, 100,000 points. Because the stadium didn't even hold any heroes, but all heroes to watch them from TV. Then everyone's jaws just drop. Then they all shout to Deku, "Deku, you got 100,000 points!" And Deku says, "Oh, did I? Wow. I didn't know I could do so good." Deku stands there with a grin. And then everyone just looks over saying, "Deku, please just give us a chance. We beg you, just give us a chance." Then Deku says, "Yeah, sorry, guys, but I'm not giving anyone chances. You gotta work hard, and then you gotta earn it. Then Aaron just starts to, well, says, and then everyone gets handed sheets. Has like all the hero agencies they can go to. Deku gets holding a massive folder of sheets. Aaron's still saying, why couldn't you be Deku? Deku's just scanning through a bunch of papers. He doesn't know who to go to, because technically Deku doesn't have one for all, so he can't go. So he didn't really get the internship with Gran Torino. So Deku's got to think. He's got one from Best Genius, he's got one from Endeavour, Mount Lady, Woodman, Death Arms. Deku just can't choose. And then Deku sees someone called Night Eyes. And Deku being smart as well, Deku remembers this is Night Eyes agency. If I'm correct, it's one of the best hero agencies in the world. And I got picked. Sweet. Deku chooses Night Eye, and a week later, Deku's outside Night Eye's agency. And did I give Pocket one for all? I can't remember. Oh well. So guys, I'm a bit rusty, haven't done this one for a while. So Night Eye walks out and Mirio next to him. Then Deku says, "Nice to meet you, Night Eye, sir." Night Eye says, "You got manners." It's good start off, I guess. I say All Might's there as well, because he wants to see how it went. And Night Eye's realizing Deku's bigger than All Might. Like, almost like up to Deku's neck now. And then, not All Might. So guys, then Night Eye says, "All Might, this boy's taller and looks more muscular than you. Is this like his quirk?" Because Night Eye chose Deku because he didn't know what his quirk was. And he showed a lot of potential. No one says, "His quirk?" No, that's just his normal size and muscles. His real quirk comes in, levitation. When he means levitation means, All just pulled out a list. Because he got a list from Deku. Because Deku just couldn't bother to tell everyone anymore. He just gave people lists. He's got some kind of... I can't describe this one. Deku says, it lets me lift 3 little small objects off the ground, like my machete. And then All says, oh yes, he's also got this enhancement quirk. When one of his eyes go completely black, or both of them, he gets twice as strong. And then Deku says, "Yeah, I've also got Rising with the Dead, then technically I got Necromancy pretty much. I got Voodoo, stuff like that. You know, the normal stuff." Night Eye's like saying, okay. So Night Eye's just speaking about one for all with All Might, because All Might told Night Eye about Deku knowing one for all, and Mirio's there, and Mirio wants to challenge Deku. Because Mirio knows about one for all, but he's very competitive, and he wants to have one for all, to get stronger and help people. But he looks at Deku thinking Deku wants one for all. So then Mirio says, "I challenge you." And Mirio's up to his chest. No, like under his chest. Actually, no, he's like in between. Deku's looking down at Mirio. Dean says, "Are you sure?" Mirio says, "Yes." Okay. Then Night Eye and All Might start agree to this. So Deku jumps back. And I say the big 3 came to visit Mirio. So the girl and the other boy, the boy had like a motion quirk and the girl had like a laser quirk. I'm sorry guys, I'm a bit rusty. Haven't seen this one for a while. So, what was it? Yeah. If I'm correct, the fights can start now. So Mirio charges in front of Deku, trying to punch him, but Deku moved so fast as to hologram it, pretty much. So Deku's behind him, but there's a hologram of like an after image. It's like an after image of Deku, and Mirio fist goes right through him. Then Mirio almost falls over because of the speed he charged at Deku with, and Mirio stopped himself from falling. Then Mirio said, "What? Does he have my quirk? Or a sock my quirk?" Then Mirio looks behind him and sees Deku standing there. Then Deku says, "No, I've just moved so fast I left an after image." Everyone's really impressed with Deku. And then Mirio says, Mirio starts charging, trying to hit Deku. Deku keeps dodging and dodging and dodging. Mirio's starting to go out of breath. Then Deku says, "Man, you're very slow." Then Mirio said, "Shut up!" And Mirio's speed increased. And I say he hit Deku in the face. Mirio said, "Finally got you." And then Deku said, "Oh wow, you got a hit on me." Deku wears his mask. Well, Jason's mask. And Deku says, "My turn." Deku gets his machete out of his bag. Well, lifting it out of his bag and throwing it to him. Then he says, "Just play." And Deku just starts saying, "Ch ch ch." Mirio just falls into the ground, going through it. He comes up flying because he can't stop himself from going down till he's at the very bottom, and then his quirk ends and propels him up. So, well, say, no, actually, no. Mirio falls down, he goes flying up, and he's just on the ground, unable to move. No one can move. Not even All Might. Like, I don't know, I say All Might can move a little bit, but he's gonna move his fingers a little bit, tops. Because he has the pressure of All For One before. And Deku says, "Oh well, time to beat you and finish this match." He was saying, "No!" Deku stopped doing his voice, and just as Mirio back out of his quirk, Deku blitzes in front of him and punches him in the face, sending him flying in the air. Deku jumps in the air, kicking him to the ground. Then Deku's thrown super fast punches out at Mirio. He's broken Mirio's arms, and then Deku goes behind Mirio and chops him in the neck, knocked him out. And Nido's mouth is just open, like his jaw is like hit the ground, like he's able to do this. He's year 1 in UA, and Mirio's year 3, top 3, and he got his ass handed to him. Sorry for the bad language, guys. So Nido's just went out wide-eyed. You get it? And the other 2 big 3 members are also wide-eyed. The girl's got love hearts in her eyes. The boy is just, no way. At first you beat Mirio, you made him to a bloody pulp. So also with bad language, sorry guys. Then Deku says, "We may want to take him to the recovery girl." Then All Might says, "Yes, that'd be a very good idea. I'll take him." Then All Might grabs Mirio and runs to UA. Then Deku walks over to the others. "How would you like to fight?" Aaron just clapped their hands. Like even Nine Eyes workers, another hero, started clapping their hands because they saw Deku beat one of the top 3 of UA. Then Deku's just off his head saying, "Thanks guys." And I say, after Mirio gets out of the hospital, well, UA's recovery centre, and comes back, 2 days pass, and Mirio and Deku go patrolling in Hosu City. And then Mirio looks around and he sees these weird creatures, and Deku says, "They're not weird creatures, they're Nomus." And then Deku's saying in his head, "If they're strong as the ones who attacked All Might, we're in big trouble." Then Mirio says, "But you've seen these people before?" Deku says, "Yes, The last one had shock absorption, regeneration. He's super strong as well. He sort of almost beat All Might. Then Miro was saying, what, seriously? Man, you guys must be strong. Oh well, we got help to pro heroes. Then Deku says, agreed. Then Deku's remembering, wait, didn't his brother get killed by the hero killer in the said place? And wasn't he intern here? Well, didn't he kill, like, paralysed? And then Deku says, oh no, Ida. Then Miro says, wait, who's Ida? Then Deku says, not enough time to explain. I gotta go, bye. I'll leave these guys with you. And Miro says, hey, wait up. And then Miro gets hit by a Nomu. No choice, he has to fight them, then go after Deku. And Stain just stabbed Ida in the arm. Then Stain's explaining, all you fake heroes. You just came here for revenge. You didn't even notice I was a hero who needed help. I'll purge you from this world. You don't even deserve that title of a hero. And just as Stain's about to kill him, Deku's machete hits Stain's katana and they both go flying. Deku's hitting the ground and going into it, and Stain's stuck in the wall. Then Stain just sees a mist coming and says, ch. And Stain looks deeper into the mist and sees a super tall kid, well, super tall person with a hockey mask walking towards him. And Stain gets a shiver down his spine. Then he says, who is this? This aura, this bloodlust. Stains goes to one knee trying to get air. And then Deku says, you try and hurt my friend, kill another hero, I'll make you pay. Deku's voice stops and Deku reaches his hand out and his machete flies over to him. Deku swings it in the opposite direction and it breaks the concrete. Then he charges at Stain. They got like the same speed. No, almost the same speed. Stain's falling behind, using his knives to try and put Deku back. Nicely, Stain grabs his machete and cuts Deku, and then he licks his machete, and Deku goes to a knee, saying, why can't I move? Is this a quirk? Then Stain says, not so tough now, are you? Deku says, I won't let you try and think. Then Deku starts to go standing up slowly. Then Stain says, wait, what? I used my quirk on you. You should be paralysed. Then Deku says, like some quirk like that can hold me down. Then Stain says, damn it. Then Stain charged at Deku with a machete trying to finish him off. Actually, no, I say Stain's... I say Stain's katana broke on the impact of Deku's skin, but he's still got a bit of blood in it, and say nick that. Then I say Deku blocked a couple of hits before that, and the machete went to the floor. And I say Stain grabbed Deku's machete and stabbed it through Deku. And then Stain says, well, at least this worked. At least this worked. Strong machete. Then Deku grabs his hands. Then he says, only me and my martyr used that. And Stain says, what? Deku breaks Stain's hands, crushing it. His fingers are bent backwards and forwards, just destroyed. His hands spewing up blood. Stain's in agony, screaming. Deku pulls the machete out of his chest, and then he finishes the job. He kills Stain, decapitating him. Ida and other heroes are horrified. And Deku falls to a knee, holding his chest with his machete, and slowly healing, but Deku has to take his mask off because he's spitting up blood. Then Pro Heroes came and Todoroki. No. I don't know. I say Deku didn't kill Stain, he just knocked him unconscious with a punch. Yeah. Then he goes to one knee and a bunch of heroes come. Because Mirio came. And then Mirio grabs Deku. He says, "We need a medic!" And this cut over to the street. So Deku's just getting ambulance, but everyone's just realising, well, doctors realising, all his wounds are healed. And Deku says, "Hope goes okay. Hey, Ida, come here." Then Ida says, "Okay." Deku uses a bit of his life force energy to heal Ida completely. Then Ida says, "I'm completely healed." Deku says, "Yeah, it's one of my new abilities." Then Ida's thinking, if he can heal me, could he heal my brother? Then Ida says, "Deku." Then Deku says, "Yeah. How strong is your healing ability?" Deku says, "I haven't tried it, but you can fix broken legs and arms, I'm pretty sure. That's the best I've seen so far of it." Then Ida is in the hospital because, well, actually no. I'd say the police walk over to Deku. The police, they had a police dog, him. He says about could go in the Endeavour. And then Deku agrees. But then Ida and Deku go to the hospital, going to Ida's brother. And I say, Ida's brother's asleep in the other room. Deku says, "Are you ready, Ida?" And he says, "Yes." Ida walks in the room, and Deku come behind him, and his mother's there, and his father's there as well. Then Ida's mother says, "Ida, what are you doing here?" His father also says the same thing. Then Ida comes to him with a smile. "I found someone that might be able to help my brother." Then they look over and see pretty much a giant compared to them. Then he says, "Does he have a healing quirk?" Then he says, "Yes." "Well, yes, he might be able to help. We don't know, but it's worth a try." Deku says, "Excuse me, I might need a little life energy for this." I say Ida's brother's awake as well. Then Deku puts his hand on his chest, and Deku's using a bunch of life energy, of his own life energy, to heal him. Deku is healing Ida's brother, well, Tenya Ida, and that's Deku's friend. Because, if you don't know, in the second episode, he helped him find his mother. Deku came back to Earth. Well, his Earth. So now, Deku... Well, let's skip to the hospital where Deku is. Deku's hands are starting to glow, and they keep glowing brighter and brighter. Deku, you can literally see him sweating, because he's never done this procedure before. I thought he can fix broken legs and arms with his life energy, but it's just like it's a disability. Like, I'm sorry guys, I'm so tired. It's not like a broken bone or leg. It's hard that you can't fix it even with a quirk. That's what Deku doesn't have a quirk. He's got voodoo. Way more powerful than she. So for swear with any healing quirk could do. So Deku's hands start to glow even more. Once a flush is made, and Ida's brother is awake. Tenya's awake, by the way. Well, Ida's awake. Oh, and Genuine's awake. Ida's brother's awake. Actually, no, he's asleep. Whoops, he's asleep. Sorry, guys. He's still asleep after the massive boom. Deku takes his hands off, and he says, "Is it done?" Deku says, "Give it 1 to 2 weeks. He hasn't used his legs for a while, so it may take him a while to adjust back to using them. But he should walk again." He just starts to cry. He just hugs Deku. He starts saying, "Thank you. Thank you." Deku says, "Don't mention it." Also, in the next week, we got school. Might be late. Deku walks out. Everyone else just goes to the same agencies, so it's a time skip. So Deku is in class. Just like, I say taking a nap, because he didn't get no sleep. And then Aizawa looks so at Deku and he says, Deku, oh, Midoriya. Deku shoots up saying, "Are you, sir? Do you know what we were just saying, or was you just sleeping?" Deku says, "Sorry, sir, but I didn't want to sleep." It's fine, I guess. So, do you want me to explain again, or? Yeah, that'd be nice. And Aizawa says, fine. Next week, you'll be fighting. It's the end of term. That means you'll get summer break off. And you have a chance to go to training camp or summer school if you fail this test. There'll be a written test and then there'll be a fighting test. We're not telling you who you're fighting yet. You have to wait and see. That's the bell. Zara says, "In the class." And Deku doesn't eat in the cafeteria. He eats on the roof on his own. Because he just doesn't have a massive crowd of people. So Deku's just eating like a sandwich, normal stuff. So Deku is just looking up in the air saying, should I do this or should I just stay home? I have a bad feeling. Deku closes his eyes and he gets like a weird feeling. Like something's going to happen in the near future. Deku doesn't know what, so he says, oh well, maybe I just got to sleep on it. Deku in the class, in the lunch. The written test is all the same. I think Deku got second because he's so smart, thanks to Jason, of course. Jason's mother educating him. So that's good. I say Deku got second, and Momo's still first. Genius. So then Aizawa says, class, today, 2 or 3 days later, class, today, you will be fighting the teachers. All the students were shocked. And then Deku says, wait, we'll fight the teachers. Deku's saying, oh no, if I'm correct, almost a teacher. Oh, I know I can outstrength him, but still All Might. Please don't be All Might, please don't be All Might. He's just thinking that in his head. A bunch of teachers walk out. Deku looks around saying, not the All Might. Deku says in his head, All Might's not there, over here at least. Gives me a good chance. As Deku says, back himself up, yeah, I can do this. I can. Everyone here just says, I am here. All Might jumping off building to building and landing next in front of Deku. Deku says, you've got to be kidding me. Deku just walks sort of to like a wall and hits his head on it because he probably just jinxed himself. And the wall will have a massive crater in it now. Deku walks back over. Our glasses kind of freaked out at Deku. And then Mama says, Deku, why did you smash your head on a concrete wall? Deku says, I jinxed myself, that's why. She says, what do you mean jinxed? I'm the only one strong enough here to take on All Might. I'm always going to be matched up with him. Aizawa said, yes, but you also have a partner. Deku says, who's that? Aizawa looks over at Bakugo. Bakugo says, wait, what? Because he still hates Deku. He's jealous because he's all his strength and power. Deku says, well, we'll have to work together today, Bakugo. Bakugo's just also going on to Deku's wall and starts exploding it. And Aizawa says, you'll be paying for that. And Bakugo says, why does he get it and I can't? Deku looks at Aizawa. Darrow looks at Bakugo. Well, one thing. If I said no to him, I'll be on the other side. I'll probably be on the other side of the city by now. Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, fair point." And Bakugo just stops. He says, "Damn it." Kirishima was just trying to calm him down. So now it's all the same, including Bakugo and Deku. And all teachers are the same. It's all the same. And let's go to the part when they All Might says his name. And Deku and Midoriya, you'll be fighting All Might. Deku says, "Well, that's a prize." Bakugo says, "Oh, great." Then the battles begin. And Nelson's battles just stay the same, so we'll skip with them. So now, I'll show you guys. So now, Deku and Bakugo are trying to discuss a plan. Deku's trying to discuss a plan. Bakugo's not listening to him. Deku just says, "Fine, die. We'll get heavily injured. I don't care." Deku just walks into a building, just waiting, carrying life energy just in case he has to heal Bakugo. He doesn't want to, but it's teamwork. Bakugo is just in the middle of the street saying, "Where are you, All Might?" All Might looks around, jumps from on the building saying, "I'm Bakugo. It's not wise for you to go head first on your own to a villain. Oh, your opponent." Bakugo says, "Quiet, All Might." Bakugo pulls one of his gauntlets. All Might practically does nothing to All Might practically, but he's got arm up. And 4 minutes later, Bakugo's on the ground, unconscious, bleeding. Yeah, that's fast. 1. Bakugo's explosions are a lot weaker thanks to Deku not being there for most of his childhood or his life. 2. Bakugo could not even stand a chance against All Might in the original. And 3. In a blind rage, he's got no chance. So it's got to be Deku. All Might saying in his head, Midoriya is hitting himself well. It's going hard to pinpoint his low key. After All Might, just before All Might says that, Deku, he gets punched in the face, and that's Deku wearing Jason's mask, yeah, and one of his eyes are black, and Deku punches All Might, sending him through building after building after building. And everyone's in the camera just saying, "Whoa!" Bakugo says, "That's quite a punch." Rocker says, "Yeah, that's Deku for you. He's a brute, but he's got brains." Deku says, "All Might, you should always have your guard up." It's smart for no one here not to have his guard up." And it says, cough, a little bit of blood. Also, his costume's a little ripped. And Midoriya, you got quite a punch. I've got to say one thing though. One thing. Deku says, "What's that?" "Too slow." Deku says, "What?" That is after image of All Might. All Might just disappeared and Deku gets a massive, his leg grabbed and All Might does this thing that Hulk does to Loki, keeps smashing it into the ground, into those buildings. And the reason All Might's doing this, because he's fought him before, he knows he can take it. Then in the camera room, all class 1As that petrified saying, "All Might do this," but then say, "You gotta stop this for Bakugo." He says, "No, it's fine, they fought before." All Might's only doing this because he knows Deku can take so much damage. Deku, after getting back up, wipes his mouth. That's a nice one, All Might. Deku clicks his neck and knuckles. Let me show you what 40% of my power can do. All Might says, "Wait, what? How much was that punch?" 20%. Deku blitzes All Might, gut punching him. He's almost gone in the air. Deku jumped up, puts his fist together and slams it to the ground, and then Deku puts his fist at 80%, punching All Might into the sewer system. So now Deku and All Might in the sewer system, and the Class 1A can't say anything. Class 1A says, "What are they doing?" And can you see them in the cameras? She says, "Sadly, no." He's got to after the sentence. All Might comes flying out of the sewer system, breaking through concrete into a building. Deku's jumping out the hole. "Come on, All Might, it's the best you've got." All Might jumps down and says, "Hardly." 80%. Carolina. Deku says, "Bring on." 99%. Crystal Lake. Oh my god, what's crystal? Smash! Massive wind pressure's made, and Deku's fist is just so strong. It's 1,000 times stronger than Jason's strongest punches, and that is flipping strong, guys. I know. So All Might says, "So much power, I can feel it come off his body." All Might says, 100%. Carolina Slash. It's one of those each moments when the swords both collide. All Might is just his arms are down. Deku's fist is down. Deku spits a bit of blood, but All Might collapses to the ground with the imprint of a punch in him. Deku says, "Man, All Might, you got a little weaker, but still strong as ever." Everyone Class A just start cheering, and Deku picks up Bakugo and walks through the exit. Then Nezu announced, "Heroes win!" All students win. So now, let's go to... No, let's just skip to the bus. He's on the back of the bus thinking, "Good thing I brought my machete. Should I make a campfire or should I stay with the others?" And then the bus stops. Deku looks around saying, "You already here?" And he starts to get off the bus. And Deku sees... "You're good." He sees 3 girls and 1 man. And all dressed up as well, kittens, well, cats. Deku says, "Don't tell me." They'll say the name, the Wild Pussycats. Deku says, "Oh, for crying out loud." And Deku's bad feeling is actually one of his new abilities that I've got to tell you guys about. It's seeing into the future. Well, not seeing into it, but he gets a really bad vibe for something bad's going to happen. It's going to endanger his life. Deku says, "This is not looking good." Alright. When the Pussycats explain the same rules, but now, when she tries doing the mudslide, trying to bring them all down to the forest, Deku is falling, but he grabs his machete and digs it into the concrete. He's like halfway down. Well, he's not halfway down. He's like, he only fell like a bit when he started his machete into the wall. Deku's just hanging there. Everyone else just saw Deku hang there. But then the Wild Pussycats get back on the bus, and Zara does as well. They drive down. Deku climbs back up with his machete, saying, "Oh man, that's close. Man, they just left me." I guess I must have thought I went, but oh well. Deku said, "Then get down there." Deku starts running. And looking, Deku can blitz All Might, and he can break the sound barrier. Crying out loud. So Deku is just broken the sound barrier around 14 times. He's outrun the bus. He's already at the campsite, and he put the stove on. Deku said, "Yeah, after this I have a shower, get some sleep. Yeah, it's been a good night." Deku walks to the cooker. Or stove, you guys might call it, but in Britain we call it cooker. So, where I'm from, a cool cooker. But I've got a stove right now. So Deku starts up the stove, makes him stew, eats his food, and then he just takes a shower, goes to sleep. Well, him actually taking a shower, coming out, in the spa, they just got there. The woman just see Deku must have, 12-pack? Yeah, 12-pack now. And they'll blush, like crazy blush. The man that's irritated, and they will say, "How did you get here? Is there other classmates here?" He says, "No, I used my machete to dig into the mountain." They say, "What, machete? I raised their head, you should have told us he's got a weapon." He said, "Sorry, I forgot. He carried the thing everywhere, don't know why. It's like his old masters or something." I already had dinner, so I'm going to, also I just got the bath. I'm going to go and get some sleep now. Deku goes to the barracks, puts his mat out, and he just goes to sleep. Illness gets there 3 hours later. While the pussycats are looking over at them, and then they say, "You guys finally made it." Because everyone had it a lot rougher. There's one, Deku's not there. There's one for all. Two, Deku's not there in general. So, not wonderful. I thought Deku would be really good to have, because he's a hunter, practically, he knows a forest usually. And then they all saw Deku hold onto the ledge. They said, "No, Ned, no, crying out loud." Most of them said that at least. And everyone just says, Spocker says, "Where's Deku? He's hanging on the ledge like a coward." They say, "Oh, him? He's asleep. He went to sleep like 3 hours ago. He actually outran us, surprisingly." They all look really irritated. The bath scene happens except Midoriya's still, Deku's not there. Now it's the villain attack. Come on, guys. Actually, no. So guys, now it's the quirk training. See, Deku doesn't have a quirk. He's got a lot of abilities. Azawa just says, "Do what you want, Deku." They'll say, "Why does Deku get to do anything once?" Then Azawa says, "Do you guys even know his quirk?" They'll, after a couple of minutes, say, "No." Then, "No, he can't train if you don't know it." Then he says, "He has some of his abilities, but nothing in general that could probably help him. He does what he wants." Deku says, "Well, I'm going to get more grub, go back to sleep." They say, "You slept for 14 hours. Then Deku says, "Bro, just you try and have a 12-pack and a body bigger than All Might's. It takes a lot of energy to keep me fed." And they was just say, Yeah. Deku starts to eat, goes back to sleep. Now, the end of the training part. Now it's the villain attack. Deku knows who Koda is, because he saw like a kid. I say he punched, I say he punched, Manila in the area. All men know if you get hit there, we're out for the count. Or most of us are at least. So now, Deku is just sleeping, but in his mind got a bad dream that Koda's in trouble at the cliff. And some kind of a monster quest to kill him if you don't get there. Deku gets up immediately. So is that a dream? Deku looks outside and he hears massive fire. He sees fire everywhere, explosions, a battle. Deku says, "Jeez." Deku runs to the wild pussycats. The other students say, "Hey, Deku, is that you?" The villain action vanguard squad looks over and they see Deku. Spin Up, the one who spins his thing to reality, dream guy, is, "Oh, get him. Man, do vehicles and that. Take this." The swords hit Deku, break immediately. call that a sword? No, this is a sword. Deku pulls out this machete and this mask on. The spinner is just gulps, and Deku literally chops his hand off. I'm joking. He hits him in the head with his machete, with his Holt, and knocks him unconscious, blitzing him. Deku says, I know where Koda is, I gotta go. Muscular's about to kill Koda. Deku blitzes Muscular, sending him to the mountain. Deku says, are you okay, Koda? Koda says, yeah, crying a little bit. Muscular gets out the wall saying, Ma, who the hell are you? Deku says, Midoriya Voorhees. Okay. You seem you're strong. Guess not to hold back. Master goes his full muscle and tries and hits Deku. Does nothing. Deku slaps Muscular into the mountain again. Knocking him unconscious. And I'm saying, guys, I don't hear he's OP, but I think guys saying, wait, Golden Evil Deku did. He can't do that. Sure, he's strong, but you can't one hit Muscular. You're forgetting one thing, my friend. My friends. This Deku's stronger than All Might in punch-wise. And Deku, the 20% punch that's sent All Might through buildings. You think Muscular can do anything about that? No way. So Deku just grabs Koda and runs over to Izawa, giving him Koda. Koda also did not awaken his water quirk, because, well, nothing bad happened with Deku. So now, guys, listen to now. Deku's running through the forest and he hears a massive roar. Deku blitzes over, then he sees Dark Shadow out of control, and he also sees the guy that can the duplo arms quirk. He's bleeding. Deku says, hey, what's wrong? Then he says the same thing. Deku said, I could fight him, but you Todoroki or Bakiko. Deku says, hop on. He hops on, and Deku says, hey, Night Shadow! Chase me, you big dumb bird! Night Shadow gets irritated and charges towards Deku. Deku is running away at blinding speed, but he's able to keep up just a little bit. So let's cut over to Bakiko and Todoroki with the tooth guy. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. Deku says, why don't you do? Actually, no, the guy, the dude one says, why don't you please make some light? The same thing happens. Night Shadow beats the F out of, the H out of, the tooth guy, Floppy and Rocker. Same thing happens to them. They all meet up. Then they all say the same plan. So Deku gets flung with the others, hit Mr. Compress, send him to the ground. The last man of Action Vanguard, that's what God say. Mr. Compress, get out the way, Darby says. Deku says, everyone get behind me! Deku pulls his machete out, and he blasts, but Deku's machete is absorbing it. Deku's cutting the flames away. Todoroki says, Deku, you can't keep cutting them. He says, be quiet and help me then. Todoroki starts using his fire. And Deku says, gotta move. Deku blitzes behind Dobby, hitting him. He's just a clone. Toga looks around at Deku, thinking his clothes are a little ripped. He's got a 12 pack, because, well, no girl can resist Deku's almighty power of a 12 pack. Practically no girl can, it's not a thing, but this one is. So now listen, guys. So guys, yawning, I swear. But also, guys, Bakiko does not get taken. Because when they try and take him away, Deku just blitzes them and just throws him back to the portal. And he gets both of them. So let's skip to the hospital. Everyone's in the hospital. Everyone who didn't get injured and make sure. If we didn't get injured a bit, well, got a couple of scrapes, but that's it. So guys, home. Sorry guys, I'm so tired today. Good night. So they're all in the hospital except Deku, where we've got a couple of grapes. So Deku, what hears, I think Deku's in the room, like with when the other classes students, like Momo, All Might and the police walk in. And he says, G still put a tracker on it. He says the exact same thing to All Might. I bet guys say, God, why are you making so fast? One, I want to get this series over with, for over a month. And two, I'm kind of on a time limit right now. So, the speeds up even more. The Deku Kirishima heads out, tells Deku and the others, same people go. They go to Hosu City. Not Hosu, the city where, well, the highlight is, I think, Hosu. Actually, I think Hosu. Deku doesn't have to get this. Deku, they always say, Deku, you can't have a disguise. Deku says, why not? There's nothing that fits you. Deku says, well, I've got my hoodie at least. They say, yeah, that'll work. He puts his hoodie on. It's a very extra large one. He's muscular, guys. He's just got so much muscle, I can't deny it. So now, oh jeez, it's been around 29 minutes, jeez. Well, let's carry on. Let's cut to the villains getting attacked by the heroes. All for one going into the battle. When I say Deku had to split up from the group for a little bit, because a little too late. Actually, no. They don't go to the city. The villains do attack, but Deku let's just say Deku got out early and he's going to get some shopping. He's on there on his own, and Deku walks along the street. He hears people talking. Like he's All Might, Endeavor, Best Genius, Midnight, Aunt Lady, Tree Man. He's everyone. All the heroes there. Deku looks through the broken wall. He says, All Might, what's going on here? Deku walks in the building. All the villains and heroes just look over and they see Deku. One says, Midoriya, what are you doing here? I went to get groceries. In a different city? Oh yeah, they've got really cheap stuff. It's amazing as well. Then Nomu just started appearing. And I say, I must have, on the big Nomu's hit Deku away. All Might says, oh no, Midoriya! Everything is happening. So guys, now, all for one, I said Deku gets knocked unconscious. A bit saying, wait, he can get tanked by, hit by All Might, but he gets hit by, knocked by a Nomu. Deku's guard was not up at all, guys. That's what I mean. His guard was not up at all. When he saw villains, he's confused, so he's saying what to do. So, Deku's unconscious, and Deku sees the part when All for One's, is saying his moves like shock enhancer, spear like boosts, and he's saying the same things to All Might. But then Deku runs and jumps. Then Deku, with his clothes, would say, "Don't worry, All Might, I am here." All Might chuckles a little bit, saying, "Get out of here, Midoriya." Midoriya says, "No, All Might, your hero's job to save people." Then so guys, then All for One says, "Is this your assessor, Toshinori?" He says, "Sadly not." And he says, "Shame. Oh well." Then I must All Might end. And I say All for One blast Deku away into a building, and All Might is doing a punch, but he's actually losing. He's not dead, but he looks like he's dead. So Deku jumps down off out of the building, sees All Might, but then Deku's body starts to change. And I mean change, guys. I mean change. I mean like it gets even bigger. His face, his mask starts to get even whiter. It's brand new. His eyes are gone completely black. His hands, his skin's turning rotten. And you guys know what I'm saying. Jason's spirit is in Deku, right? Half of it, and it's getting more powerful now because Deku's letting it get in. Jason's not trying to take over Deku, it's just part of his spirit because he's his demon in his family, stuff like that. So Deku now has sounds all black. One says, "What kind of cloth do you have?" Deku says nothing. He says, "Ch ch ch." Almost says, all for one says, huh? Deku blitzes all for one, stabbing him in the chest with his machete. All for one spits up blood. And Deku just decapitates him, chops his head off, just slice. The Baker's saying, he's all for one. But what are you talking about going in with Deku? He can take a stab through the chest with a machete. You're gonna forget, this is like Deku's faster than all in his prime days. And plus, Deku has his machete out, enhanced speed and strength already enhanced, stabbing it all wonderful, and you can easily decapitate him. Piece of cake. So now Deku, also the All Might, and now Deku uses most of his energy to heal him, most of his soul, and All Might is barely alive. He's on his string. They get recovery girl out of there, looking like an hour to get there. She heals All Might, not even close to full melt where he could have been. He's like half his meal, Little Might form. He's that weak. And so now, guys, I could do that one, but I'd rather end the series off now. Well, guys, it's the end of What If Deku Got Trained by Jason. What If Deku Got Trained by Jason Voorhees. This series has been very long, I mean super long, but when the story ends, a new one starts. So, I hope you enjoyed this last video of What If Deku Got Trained by Golden Deku Kids. What am I talking about? What If Deku Got Trained by Jason Voorhees? Peace out.